Councilwoman Judy Priestley, how dare you? How dare you start a meeting with only 3 council people present to stop people from speaking at this podium? How dare you? No down, no class. The next time that casket come to Flint, maybe it should be marched in front of your house. Since you are. Thank you. I'm just so disappointed. Very low class of you, Miss Judy. Very low class. I took PTO to come down to this meeting from my job. So I made a sacrifice to be here. The least you could do is respect that. Additionally, Councilwoman Dr. Liddell Lewis, I do not give you permission to dishonor me or disrespect me. Don't you ever in your life stare at me in an intimidating way while I'm sitting in the audience. Don't you ever do that ever to me again. You got away with it a few years ago at Flint Community School Board Education Week. It won't happen again. Check yourself. I don't know who raised you, but you better get it together. And you too, Miss Judy Priestley. Get you some morals and a conscience.
That part.
How dare you?
That was the final speaker. It's now time for council response.
Okay, I'll go over to
Members
YouTube.
of
It's
the council
working
shall
now.
have 2 minutes
Go over to
to
YouTube.
respond to each. I'm going to read it, sorry, it's been out of my memory. Council members may respond once to all public speakers, only after all public speakers have spoken. An individual council member's response shall be limited to 2 minutes. Is there anyone who'd like to address? Madam Chair, please go ahead.
Thank you. So to all the speakers and those who could not get their names put in the box, you need to make sure you support someone for that 3rd ward who will uphold your First Amendment.
Amen.
It's just going to be a problem. I do want to say this. When the EPA, number one, stated that they were lifting the emergency and it was a celebration, it is not a celebratory time. I'm still asking for the list of the homes that service lines were to change, and I've not gotten it. And this is over a year and a half. I've not gotten it. Because I will knock the doors, and I've stated, for my board and any of the other ones if I have to. Haven't gotten it. So you don't have all the service lines in place. We do not have our, we didn't have violations before. Our administrative consent order, the violations, these still stand. Still haven't figured out how we're gonna pay for this list because he's now resigned, our DPW manager. He said we didn't have funding for it. Then we have the water distribution optimization plan. 2 crucial plans to make sure Flint has safe drinking water in our infrastructure, and we don't have the dollars. So I'm not understanding why it's a celebratory moment. It's not for me. When I took over the weekend even, and yesterday 2 calls about people who need to have their service lines changed. Flint has got some issues, but it gets down to who's in whose pocket. These plans are not, they're not funded. They are required by our administrative consent order. You can download it, it's 177 pages. I've talked about it numerous times, and it's something that's serious. But that water bill is everything.
Thank you. Is there anyone else?
Madam Chair,
Go ahead.
thank you so much. So just want to highlight a couple of things that have happened in the city of Flint. I am definitely excited to report that the inaugural Flint Litter League that took place on the north side, that was over 42,000 pounds of litter on the north side. So that is definitely a major feat. So we're looking forward to taking this Litter League to the entire city, and I can only imagine what we can do as a board team and what goes on the ground. So special thank you again to the Sean Johnson Cleaning Group, to So we're in the White Squad, it's a big brother and big sisters of Genesee County, Greater Flint, when I set up, as well as to the Maine Institute for making all of this possible, a lot of dedicated volunteers. And so we also have the Silence the Violence Walk, which is taking place this Saturday at 1:30 p.m. at the Sylvester Brown Center. So all residents that are interested in silencing violence, are interested, please come and participate. Your participation is needed in your city. And then lastly, we are having a tree planting party. We have joined up with the Climate Resilient Flint, and all the trees that were knocked down during this inclement weather. We're looking at planting brand new trees, healthy trees for our environment. Somebody is yelling now.
Please be respectful as we discuss it here. Go ahead.
Thank you. So the tree planting party is taking place. We had 2 so far, but the next 2, they're going to happen at Cooper Avenue, Cyrus Park. So we are planting 33 trees. If you would like to help us drop those beautiful trees, please come there at 10:30, or you can contact me for details. And then the last place is going to be June the 7th at the Friends of Hasselbury Park on Home Avenue, where we will be dropping 32 trees. So come and join us as we help make our neighborhood beautiful.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? Anyone else?
Madam Chair.
Go ahead.
Just a couple of things. Congratulations on the Little League. That is awesome. We definitely need to address blight and have things cleaned up. The north end and the east side could certainly benefit from something like the Little League happening all year round. And so congratulations on that. That was the brainchild of Dr. Lewis in the second ward. So thank you for helping to clean up our city. I do want to also address, and as a conservation girlie, I do believe trees should be planted, but I also want to be mindful. I'm not saying they're not, because I know the way in which they're planting trees now. It's kind of like a cluster small forest thing, but part of the reason we're running into the issue with our trees now is that they were all planted at the same time, same type of tree, same age. And so that's when you end up 30, 40 years down the line with trees falling down or they're dying all at once and all over. And so while I do applaud the efforts of what's happening with the trees, because I understand that they're being put in kind of like a forest concentration, I do want us as a city to just be mindful in the future when we're planting trees to make different ages, different types of trees, different locations. So that way, 30 years from now, we won't have what we have now every single time there's a storm. To Ms. Claire Clinton, I believe the mayor did write a letter asking them to release the money.
You did.
Correct. I'm going to finish my sentence because this is not a back and forth, because I was about to say that you were correct in the fact that healthcare for all should have happened here in Flint. And that should have been something that everyone should have pushed for, was healthcare for all. And then I also want to acknowledge the fact that we all found out about the EPA lifting the emergency the same time everyone else did. We found out in the news. It would have been nice to have a conversation to be able to address some concerns, but Ms. Claire, like you said, we need to write a letter. Thank you.
Is there anyone else? I see none. I will address Mr. Woodson's question about the Mott Village. Mott is a separate taxing authority, and it was voted on by the residents of the Genesee Intermediate School District. So we do not approve putting their millage on. It is by law. So their debt service and their operating were both voted on by the residents of this community, not just the city, but it's the Genesee Intermediate School District, which is the Mott's service area. So if you live within the Genesee Intermediate School District, you know property will be taxed automatically. No local unit will vote to put that on the tax bill because it is already. Thank you. Going on.
Madam Chair.
Yeah.
So before we go on, I would like to have a point of order. So we do have a gentleman with the tripod there.
Single, not a tripod. The rules just say tripod.
I have already asked the clerk.
They
look for anything except for the city business.
Point of order. I believe the council member was talking to the chair, and there was an audience member speaking out of turn.
So, these little kids.
All right, but
talk.
you have one.
She feel bad. This is crazy. This gotta get some coffee.
What's your request?
Are we waiting for a legal opinion from the attorney?
I'm asking the clerk. I've asked the clerk.
You can, just go ahead to resolution, that's about.
Pardon?
You can continue, and I'll
Okay.
explain what the resolution is
Okay,
after.
thank you very much. All right,
I ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
so it's now time for agenda.
Don't say nothing about that.
She's waiting on, which you can, order is regarding the resolution, to the city, for this year,
Your
waiting.
point of order is always to the chair.
Whoever today. So,
Excuse me, point of order.
What's your point?
Jason,
The colleague of the city board is not allowed to disrespect the chair. That's
Go ahead, Ms. Burns.
here's the resolution. Read the debate. So it's supposed to be closed door.
Don't say nothing about a hand.
I'm asking you, do you know what the board did, or do you choose the chair or the attorney? Are you telling me I can't speak to the city attorney? I'm asking you.
That is a point of order, you must read the chair.
Okay, request for information then.
What is your request?
Request for you to the city attorney. I would like to know the try time.
Point of order. That's not how this works. You know,
Excuse me,
Hold
the
on.
clerk is not with me.
I still have.
I just took it away from you.
You're gonna be here by yourself. I'm not even talking to her out there, but I'm asking you as the chair.
point of order.
What's your point?
She is taking the floor, using the privilege
I'm
motion.
asking like you did, I said point of order, you're intervening, you're taking.
Point of order, you already stated the point of order to the chair, and point of order was denied, so we're waiting.
I did a request for information.
And I deny that, and I'm, the clerk just.
Wow.
And clerk, what does the sign say? What is the ordinance?
Oh my gosh.
Go get another job.
What does the resolution say? Madam Clerk, are you prepared to answer that at this point, or shall we continue to the consent agenda? Okay, well, it's now time for the consent agenda. I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
so moved.
It's been moved by the Councilwoman Secretary. Is there support? Separation.
They gonna hurry up and say no.
No, I said total separation, didn't
Okay, first resolution is resolution 250131, P, prevailing wage standard city fund construction projects. Is there a motion? The motion by Councilman in the 8th Ward seat of finance, is there support? Is there support? That was by the Councilman in the 9th Ward. Okay, this is a motion to resolution 250131 and finance.
Mr. Allen, Dr. Lewis,
No.
Ms. Priestley,
No.
Ms. Murphy, Carter, Ms. Burns,
Yes.
I'd like to put a motion on the floor to remove that to council.
Point of order. I could not hear her, she's speaking her mic clearly, I couldn't understand.
She made a motion to send to council.
Okay, thank you.
Wow.
So Councilwoman, in the second word, has made a motion to send to council. Is there support? Is there support?
She wasn't even in her seat.
Support.
It's been supported by the councilwoman in the seventh ward. Is there any discussion? Go ahead.
Yeah, so, in case the colleagues didn't know, the city attorney's office is an awesome attorney, and I want to make changes to this, and I think the answers to it, so if you want to send, if you want to kill it tonight, let's do it, let's just kill it. I will not be supporting it in this current form.
Any other discussion?
Madam Chair. Thank you. So, we have no clue what's happening. The only thing we know is that the councilman, the city board told him to separate everything on the agenda, then he did so. And so we don't have.
Point.
I mean, just like you didn't call me a monkey or a jump like me or it sounds like that everyone around that point.
What is your point?
Warn her.
What is your point?
Okay, I'll give you a couple of points. One is page 26, section 3-0104. You must respect this your property. And also residents. We're not doing that. I'm not being disrespectful. She's being very hasty.
What is your
Now,
point?
my next point is Robert's Rules 43.21, speaking to my vote. Did not ask him to separate. So she is a big line. A big line. I'm asking you to do that.
There was some information on what she requested. I was wondering if my colleague in the fifth ward knows I heard her ask if he was going to separate, and then he turned around and said total separation.
No, that is not saying separate.
You just said you didn't say it. Thank you.
People, please, I did rule that point of order out of order, so go ahead, read that. Go ahead.
All right, thank you. And so we're hearing that, we're missing that attorney, and because of that, talking about killing this, yeah, I'm just trying to figure out, what my colleagues know that we don't pertain to this resolution. So that was a big reason why I had no clue on why he decided to, leave this here. So I had no clue. So, I would definitely like to hear more during the time of discussion if my colleagues have that information. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
Madam Chair. So generally, what happens is, and I see I got here late, so we're off to a not so civil start. Generally what happens is that we do have discussion so that people can express, hey, this shouldn't go because they want to fix something or they have questions or something of the sort, so that everyone has an opportunity to support their reasoning for wanting it to stay here. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other discussion in the first round? Any other discussion in the first round?
It's not a point of order, Madam Chair. So I'm just checking in with the clerk about I see we have a tripod to join us.
That ain't no damn tripod. She is ridiculous. Talk about the damn water with the taxes.
Sir, you are out of order. Go ahead.
Madam Chair,
This
the
is
resolution that was adopted by the council, on
you see why they
May
can't get that
29th,
done.
2024.
You see why you
Resolution
can't find out
adopting
nothing
the
about
budgetary
your
area and the
tripod.
final chambers. Freestanding camera stands,
What up,
the first
man?
all paragraph states that, all use of freestanding camera stands, including but not limited to tripods, camera stands, and other physical devices used to support or elevate cameras, cell phones, or other video recording devices is restricted to an area be designated by the city clerk in the northeast corner of the city council chambers during those meetings. Persons in violation of this resolution will be deemed to be acting in a disorderly fashion until according to the meeting. And if it's unnecessary, it will abandoned. So if there is any stands or any uses of physical device to support the camera, then it is a violation of the resolution.
So I'm going to ask the two gentlemen in front who are having stands that hold the cameras to either go back to the videography area or to remove themselves from this.
Request for information.
What's your request?
Did it say freestanding?
It's not freestanding.
It's not freestanding. It's not free, those are not
It
freestanding.
also
Those
says
are
anything that elevates.
They are sitting.
It's not
Madam Clerk, can you read that part again, please?
Hey, how's the water, guys?
Point of order. Yeah, so we have the gentleman in the ninth ward is speaking to the colleagues' motive, saying that we don't want them here. We just want everybody to be compliant with the same rule. So that's
Your actions are.
Keep it out of order.
You are out of order, Mr. Chair.
You know what? I got a dying relative at a hospital tonight. Call me out of order. Give me a second so I can go home.
I know that.
Request for information.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, could you please read the part again about this area and,
Budgetary has a request for information.
oh, I'm sorry, I did not hear you, Mr. Chair.
We're listening.
And Ms. Claire,
Go ahead.
Ms.
It
Claire.
says all use of
So
freestanding
which
camera
one to talk about that
stands,
house,
including but not
that one
limited
for
to
the house, I like to
tripods,
talk
camera
about
stands, and other physical devices
The
used to support or elevate cameras, cell phones, and other
We still
video
don't know how much
devices
opportunity that
is restricted to an area.
They want it.
They're worried about some damn tripods.
Okay, seeing that those are used to elevate the cameras, you must go back to the videography area or remove yourself from this meeting or go ahead.
It says freestanding.
Freestanding.
Freestanding, anything that's freestanding.
Same old, same old. Same old bullshit, same old bullshit.
Take a breath.
What's your point? I did give that to the city attorney so that he can take a look. He may need time to look at it. He did not have that. So, I mean, this, I was doing the meeting while we're figuring out. Okay, and
Okay, we will pause it on that, but I am asking you to remove yourself as soon as we get it. Go ahead, this is the, discussion, we're in first round on resolution 250131. Members speaking were, Mr. Pfeiffer, Dr. Lewis, and Ms. Shat. Is there any other discussion on this resolution in the first round? Seeing none, entertain any discussion on the second round.
Okay, so I heard that the rationale for not moving forward with this was because of the lack of one attorney in the law office. So through you to the Councilman Ainsworth, so how does that hold a bearing on this resolution? I mean, we can laugh, but it's a city business, so that's fine. So the councilman in the A ward, if you answer the question, that
Mr. Wood said you may leave.
He didn't get a warning.
He got a warning earlier.
Chair.
This is your warning.
Is that under further resolution?
We're in possible law, but this is your warning.
That's fine. Y'all keep it as hell, man. Y'all set the tone, man.
Yep.
Bring about the
That's
fucking
right.
thing.
That's right. Exactly. By our full issue.
Is there any other discussion in the second round?
So, as I was saying, I didn't finish my time. Yeah, it's not a problem. So I asked the Councilman A Board, what was the link between the two, so we can have an understanding. And according to our rules, you ask a request through the chair for the information so it can help you decide your next vote. And that's exactly what I was doing. And so since the Councilman A Board refused to engage per his requested duty as a councilman, now we don't have information, and we're sitting over here mad. This is when we talk about personalities taking over the job. We can't afford to have this happen. We must be consistent with the rules, and we must work with colleagues. If we're not gonna work with colleagues, please continue to stay home, take another vacation, get absent again. But those that come, we're here to do the work. And giggling and laughing about the work not taking place is not funny. So I would like to definitely compel my colleague in the A Board. You've been missing for several weeks. Please go and then take care of your loved one.
I was telling you when it first started.
Absent in the last meeting? Did she call me absent?
Well, thank you. And if you want to talk about that point of order, I had a conversation with the chair. They knew why I was not here. Okay, so we must make sure that we keep the main thing, the main thing. The main thing is Mr. Pfeiffer not stating what one lawyer being minus from the legal department have to do with not moving this resolution forward to council. I don't understand. And so, since I don't understand, I can't be in support of keeping this in finance. So I'm going to vote that we move this to council, and hopefully my colleagues will get on board and supply the information so we can move it as a body, as a functioning body. But again, if I'm not here, I watch the meeting and I know what's going on. So I encourage my other colleagues to do the same. Thank you.
Quick question. No, I'm gonna do a point of order. Because you need to, according to our charter, and there's no disrespect, page 26, section 3-104, it speaks of the quorum. She doesn't have the quorum. You need to work, she's talking about monkeys and what they and making allegations. That's not the, in our charter, it states that we must be respectful to the constituents and to each other.
Man, Ms. Burns, I did call that point of order, but she's got some issue about it. I did call her. So, any other discussion in the second round?
Madam Chair.
Go ahead.
So I believe we need to go ahead and this is the prevailing way. I think.
Yeah, right, let's go ahead. Is there anyone from the administration who can address this resolution? On the prevailing wage, is there anyone from the administration who can address this? Seeing that there isn't anyone at this moment, I will make a motion to keep this in place. Is there support? Support. It's been moved properly seconded to keep this resolution in finance.
I'm feeling right now.
This already ready to support it.
Oh, we've already made the resolution.
I withdraw my support.
Oh, you withdraw your support. I called, yeah, I already called for the vote.
She sure did call for the vote.
It's all right, thank you.
I wouldn't even, I'd kill it.
I don't know what we're voting for.
If you would have been paying attention like to the tripod
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Piper? Mr. Jarrett?
Yes.
Mr. Allen is absent. Vote is 5 yes, 1 no.
The vote is 5 yes, 1 no, that will stay in finance. The next resolution is 250140, reallocation of ARPA funds to job training.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
Oh, actually, I would like to hear from the lawyer.
About what?
She hadn't even started the roll call, and so I'm just asking
But y'all voted now.
if I could withdraw my support.
But they did already
Wow.
voted. Can she
This
ask
is
them
the
after the
game.
damn meeting?
She asked if she could withdraw her support.
See, this the game they play when they did the vote.
Can she
My question, Madam Chair, was even though the clerk had started the roll call.
Well, hell, it worked with Leon and Beverly Hills, so it makes sense.
No, she had not started, but I had called.
Right, but that's my question to the attorney.
Could she withdraw her second on that motion?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what the question was.
Okay, the question is that after I called for the vote, Ms. Rollins said that she could address the, resolution. And Ms. Mashat wanted to withdraw her second of my motion to keep this in finance. And I said that I had already called the vote, but I said we were going to vote on this. And she wondered if that was, if she could withdraw her second on that motion.
See if that happened with Miss
So once I called for the
That's what I
vote.
said, this the Leon and this the Leon thing all over
So
again.
now they couldn't do it.
So the next resolution is
Wow.
250140.
But they didn't let her change the vote for me, I got to change.
Yeah.
City of Flint second clean and safe summer program. I'll entertain a motion.
Madam Chair,
Go ahead.
I move that we send this to council.
We know
It's been moved by the councilwoman and the second word to send council with their support.
Ain't nothing she ain't seen, she ain't like
It's
to
been
see.
supported by the councilwoman and the second word. Is there any discussion?
Yes, who is the people that they don't have?
Any discussion? Hearing none? Go ahead. Mr. Chair.
Do you have someone from, staff to speak to me?
Is there anyone, hello staff, is there anyone who can address the Safe and Clean Summer Program?
Where's Shannon at?
The staff ain't thinking about those.
Does anybody pay attention?
The staff.
Ed? Take Ed and Ed. They can hear me.
Time's ticking, come on. There is so much noise in the back that we had trouble hearing, so could I please ask for people to be quiet? Thank you.
Thank you.
We told them over there.
Mr. Chair.
What'd he say?
Where are we with identifying potential, fiduciaries in that?
My understanding, and I'm speaking on behalf of Ms. Sparks Green, and unfortunately she's unable to be here this evening, but my understanding is that she's talked to a couple of potential fiduciaries, which I believe she's already, I understand she's already had a conversation with you directly about that, or any communication with you about that.
Yes, there was pending information, that's what I'm trying to get.
Right.
understand now.
Right, so that's what I know is that she has been talking to those fiduciaries that were mentioned. From that, I don't know if there's an agreement in place or nothing, I don't know.
And do you know who those fiduciaries are? that she's been speaking to?
Whomever you mentioned, she just said she's been talking to whoever you had mentioned, okay, as a idea of a potential fiduciary.
Okay, so to be transparent.
Sure.
Is what I want to make sure that,
I haven't spoken to them, so I can't speak to the, I haven't had no conversations with them, I'm just standing in and I got a text message from her today.
I have mentioned to Ms. Sparks Green that it might be, conducive to the program to look at adding Neola as a potential support sponsor or fiduciary for this offering. They could provide potential fiduciary responsibilities as such, and there might be some additional supports that they can get. So I sort of pointed her in that direction, and I also stated you may have been in contact with Mock College and their workforce.
I know my college was mentioned.
Okay. So I wanted to know if we were even further along with identifying who may be fiduciary for the program. But we're not even.
I know there's going to be a conversation to a couple of different ones, but nothing is set in stone. Because again, nobody's going to agree to do something that's not been approved by council, which is unfortunate.
What they did last
Thank
year.
you. Thank you.
Is there any other discussion? First one, go ahead, Mr. Flint.
Not only fiduciary, but also who the recipient organizations are. Fiduciary hasn't been established, the recipient organizations certainly have been established. Is that a correct statement, Mr. Mayor?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
I said, if the fiduciary hasn't been identified, then the recipient organizations certainly haven't been identified. Is that a correct statement?
Yeah, that's not standard practice that I'm aware of, that we would identify potential recipients before the council would agree on funding.
Well,
I know we do in grant applications, we have sub-recipients.
so why would this be different?
Because a sub-recipient is applying to a grant, where a team applying for a grant of the federal government, or a team applying for a grant of a sub-recipient on a project. Here, it's a bit different. The money's a lot more, and we're not going to fall. It's a process that takes maybe 6 months to be able to apply for that. And it's part of the requirements from the federal government that we have sub-recipients on the grant.
This is ARPA money, so this is ARPA money, so this should be even more of.
Right, but with the ARPA money, all due respect, ARPA money, the city council identified the buckets originally. And that's why people apply for it. There is no bucket here for anyone to apply for. The 324,000 hasn't been approved, so no one's applying for anything.
It's not on the ARPA budget as well.
But it doesn't exist. It doesn't, you haven't approved it, so it doesn't exist. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Until you approve it, it doesn't, it's nothing.
So, I hear what you're saying,
Right.
I do. But once we approve this without recipients, then the mayor's cherry picks his organizations and his friends, and that's who the money goes to.
Like
And the people who are do quid pro quos, that's who the money goes to.
I'm not here to speak about the mayor. I'm here in my capacity, and I was called up to speak. It's unfair that you would get political with me like that. All I'm saying is the money doesn't exist, so it's because you haven't approved it. Once you approve it, then we can identify potential recipients.
Yeah, I'm not going to, thank you. I'm not going to approve it to then find out after the fact that my vote was used to, pay off friends and family. I'm not gonna do
Any other discussion in the first round? Any other discussion? Go ahead.
Thank you. So seeing that we had a lot of young people take advantage of this last year, and being able to interact with them last year, and they worked at various sites, it's very disheartening. Because school is about to be out, and organizations don't want to be bothered with the fiscal council. They're doing the good work already. A lot of us have worked with them, hand in hand. A lot of us have seen the great thing that they're doing. So while they're out here working with the youth, they don't have time to sit here and waste time trying to apply for something that people are going to shoot down because of false proclaimed agendas. Unless you can prove, everything is about what you can prove. If you can prove that the mayor is doing this for friends and family, bring this before this body. Bring it. Right, so I believe that, I just want my seconds back. And,
Are you serious? They just do what they want to do.
thank you. And so, unless you can bring this before this body, we will not have accusations like this. I'll give you a great example. Just like the monkey work. Just like someone, just like.
She's speaking to Moses.
How is this germane?
Come on, Judy. Chair your meeting, Judy.
One, she's not being germane. Number two, she's speaking to motives that did not happen.
Come on, Judy.
So you need to correct her.
Thank you. So my point is, everything that I just said can be pulled up on videotape, just like St. Mark pastor admitting that he feeds people outside of the city of Flint out using the money. So everything that I'm saying,
She's not being germane. St. Mark has nothing
Come on,
to do with
Judy.
it. But her calling people bitches is a true fact.
thank you. And again, we have colleagues that threaten us with our attendance, continuing to lie. And so the point is, pull out the film, where's the footage?
Yeah,
we
just
have
vote.
the footage for everything that we're
Vote.
talking about.
Just
we
vote.
get up out of our seats
Yep,
when
vote.
we're caught up and we don't have anything else to say.
Vote.
The point is,
Yeah.
we cannot make those
Vote.
false allegations on
Yeah.
anyone, the mayor included, unless you have the proof.
Yeah. Just
So if you
vote.
don't have proof coming from our elected seats,
Yeah.
and we're quick to talk about the Robert rule that speaks about speaking to Moses, don't do it. Because you're speaking to Moses and you don't know. He's not in his body, but he still is the mayor. And if you can't provide us, just like you will provide me with the point of information that I politely ask, don't
Call for
speak
the question.
things that are not true. I'm not speaking it's true. Know that they're not true. Just like she didn't tell you not to go separate everything, just like you said we called you monkey in the middle.
Call for the question.
Let's go ahead and stick to things that we can prove. And what we can't prove is that the summer youth program have benefited so many youth in this city that we had just as many, we turned away just as many as we accepted.
No, you didn't.
I went to the listening session at Southwestern Academy. And every single youth said they wanted a youth job. We can sit up here and talk, and a lot of us don't even go into the schools. We talk about it, but we don't go into there. A lot of us were in there, and those that are in there, those young people said that they want youth jobs. They do. So if we are, and they're residents of the city, so if we are supposed to be, let me stop my time.
Oh,
I'm hearing all kinds of yelling out, and I'm going to start issuing more warnings. So I'm asking you, please, to allow us to conduct our business. Thank you. Go
that's
ahead.
what they call a business.
Thank you, because this conduct will not be accepted at the Board of Commissioners, they will not do it. So we need to set a precedent that you will not and cannot do that here. But my point is, the youth spoke out and said with their voices, we want youth jobs. The people on the north end, and I trust people all over the city want youth jobs. But I know on behalf of the second ward, they called me and they told me, I have monthly meetings, and I hear directly from the second ward. And they said they want their neighbors, they want their grandkids, children, nieces, and nephews with youth jobs. For us to keep stalling this, it's preposterous, and it makes no sense. And we're doing the residents a disservice. So as we sit up here and laugh and everyone think this cute and do it for click, likes, and shares, I'm doing this for the people that I vowed to do this for. Otherwise, I can do something else. But since I'm here,
Please call the time, point of order. The young lady with the blonde hair, the security yelled out. I believe Ms. Claire McLean also yelled out.
And I will not hear her, and next time, she will get a warning. Go ahead.
I mean, this is just unfortunate. We got grown people acting like kids when we're trying to talk about youth jobs. Now, don't say you care about the youth when you clap and you support this kind of foolishness. Shame on every single one of you that vote against youth jobs. Shame on every single one of you that are carrying on acting. I mean, now we see why a lot of the kids act the way they do. What an example we have. So we are looking forward to the colleagues doing what they do. But youth will have jobs this summer.
Excuse me, this is your warning, this is your second warning, you are removed from this meeting.
Is this under threat of arrest?
Then, go ahead. You are removed from this meeting.
You're telling me that I'm removed from this meeting? I'm forced to go?
Yes.
Is this under threat of arrest?
Point of order. According to the disorderly person city code sub 6, it states that any person that persists in disrupting this meeting will be in violation of the Flint City Code section 3110, disorderly conduct, assault and battery, and disorderly person, and will be subject for arrest for misdemeanor. Any person who prevents the peaceful and orderly conduct of any meeting will be given one warning. If they persist in disrupting the meeting, that individual will be subject to arrest. Violators will be removed from the meeting. That is my point.
Thank you.
They just finna get some more people paid.
Lord have mercy, all our ARPA money gonna be going to lawsuits.
They finna get everybody.
Yeah, throw us out so we can get some ARPA money.
But I do want to say, shame this last year, how are you? I'm not feeling a little irritated today, and it is very hostile in here. It is very.
It's hard as staff to sit here, to be here all day, work, and then come here, and then things get going on. We don't know if we're going to have to come to work before. We don't know what's going to happen. I have a babysitter and paying at home. We all have things going on outside of this. All we're trying to do as staff, excuse me for being transparent, is just do our job. That's all we're trying to do.
Very important with respect. And as a mom who has had my children are grown, I completely understand. You know, and I've seen your little one here, who's very well behaved. So I just want to say this. So last year we did have the names of the organizations. This year we don't. And that is a problem for me. I would like to see who we're giving money to. And I will not approve as I see who it's going to. One, because we have a Lion Bishop who said, I brought people here from 30 weeks ago. I said, I don't even know how to do the boots on the ground. It just happens to be her Lion Bishop. And so, when she stayed, and this is why, because I don't believe him teaching people faith when he can't even tell the truth. So if he's getting it, I'm not supporting it. If the name's talking about it, because he could actually, I must speak up. This is embarrassing, and out of order on every level. For a city council member to orchestrate a line dance for a city council meeting is ridiculous. To bus people in from Chicago to disrespect our city government is a huge dereliction of duty. So much important city business going on undone because members of the council, less than 50% attendance. This madness must stop. My attendance is not less than 50%. But I'm not going to give money to a bishop who tells lies and puts it on social media and then watch you. I don't do that. So if you guys can get your organizations, put them there like we did, like we're not asking you to do something that you didn't do prior last year, and you put them on our agendas, the same names, which when it first came back up, it was the same organizations that were on there. We didn't receive anything different. They were questioned. Now we don't have any. So you can get the organizations, because if I am a nonprofit, I'm going to let you know that I'm interested. We don't even have names. I will not blindly vote yes on something that we don't even have a name on. And we don't. And that's just not fair. I think it's also unfair to say people will not do it because they did it last year. All the organizations last year put their names on there. Now, if the mayor chooses to do his $75,000 and under, which seems to be his go-to, then that's his choice. He can do it 3 times, which will pay for it. But without names, and we did it last year because we can't say, I think it's wrong to say as council, sign this blank check and we'll figure it out later. That same thing happened with the golf courses, that we paying them $72,000. We don't know how much they take in little liquor sales. We don't know about the marijuana harvest that they have there. The city's not getting in that revenue. So I'm just saying, if we can get the name, because not having the name, I don't see, or certain council people not having it. It's not going to be approved. Give me some names that we can look at it. We did it last year. There shouldn't be a problem doing it again this year, putting the names. If they're, you got it. Last year we had enough that knew they got their money. They got it. So it should be this year. It's slipping it through. And I'm not saying that it's you, Seamus, that's doing it, but it seems to be very disingenuous to not put the names on there saying, you better sign it, or we're gonna call a press conference and call you obstructionists, call you terrorists, and say council doesn't get anything done. Because that's what the mayor does. He's done it repeatedly to the council members that he doesn't like in the news. He repeatedly goes after the city council. When if you have this up here, we can approve this, maybe we're not sure about this organization. We don't have any organization to even deny it right now. Not one. And I know it's not you. And that way I understand.
Request for information.
What's your request?
Didn't she just deny the Pastor Mark's church? And that church where they not like it? So because he just said that we don't have any organization to deny. And she just
There is
said.
no name on here. He has.
Check her, Judy.
And go ahead and put it back to 10 seconds.
Listen, we don't have any. No one, you have not given us one name. If you give us some names, I don't think we should be using tax dollars to let Bishop Martin teach people about faith.
So, I think that has actually been stated by Ms. Mark several times, that it is increasingly difficult to get people to want to be a part of the program simply because there's no guarantee that there will be a program. And so there has been outreach to multiple organizations, but again, their response has been the fact that, are we sure we're going to have a program? I do agree with you about the fact that it is deeply unfair for anyone to make this political, or any of the sort when you are simply up here trying to explain a program. If you would like to give us some more information, I know you've already talked several different times on this, so go ahead.
Yeah, again, there seems to be a lot of stuff going on and said here, but ultimately, things have not been mentioned much as we youth. It's all about just getting youth work.
Right.
Again, whatever the politics aside, it's all about getting you jobs for the summer. I was program director for the CVI program. In that capacity, I had a great opportunity to see the need in reducing violence in the city. And one way of trying to reduce violence is to have jobs for the youth, jobs for young people. And this is a great opportunity for that. And we hear a lot about the entities that they're worried about funding, but I don't hear a lot being said about the youth, and that's what this is about. Giving youth jobs. And like I said, I have 3 kids. I would love when they're older to have opportunities like this. They make me plan to have a summer job, I'm busy in the summer, I'm worried about them. So.
And I think that you have brought it back to what is important. We have kids who are asking for some employment, who are asking for something to do this summer, who are asking to positively contribute to society while also making lifetime experiences and learning through skills. We have people who come up here all the time and say, hey, the youth are in trouble, we need you all to do something for them, we need help, we need help. And we did this program last year. It was very successful to the point where the administration had to come back and say, hey, there are more youth that would like to be employed. And we had to go around 2 last year. And so now that we're doing this year, I think this was introduced early on enough for us to be past this point. I think one of the things, unfortunately, that happens, and you have the kids now being caught up in it, is the fact that people wait until they get to meetings to do the work, to do their job, when our jobs are all day, every day, even though we're supposed to be considered part-time. We have this information, we have access to ask questions. I think another thing that also should be pointed out is that if there are some organizations that council trusts, that maybe council should send those suggestions to the mayor. Because what happens there is, it can easily be flipped and said, well, you're saying it because they're doing quid pro quo with you, right? And we don't have any proof of any of that. That can easily happen on the flip side. And so I just want us to be mindful and focus on the fact that there are youth who need these jobs. We know that in Flint, summertime comes and anything can happen. And so the best thing we can do to protect them is to guarantee them somewhere to be during the day, guarantee them some responsibility, and guarantee them something to look forward to. And I urge my colleagues that there are some organizations that they send those to Ms. Shelley Sparks and say, hey, take a look at some of these organizations that do work that can give you an opportunity. I know you wanted to say something?
Yeah, that was my question is, and I hear that there's this concern around no names. Well, my question is, in the event that we do somehow find entities that are interested, is the expectation then that we put that on that resolution and they have to come to council before council? Well, will there be guarantees that there'll be a quorum that night, that when they come, they'll actually, things will happen?
No, I hear you. The goal is always moving. We don't know. The goal is always moving. The post is always something different. But it's we here, we want it done, we're going to move the post again. We don't know. What we do know is that the youth need jobs. There's something that has to be done this summer. This is the city's opportunity to help families and help residents. If there are some organizations that council members think would be good for the youth to be aligned with, that we give those suggestions in order for the youth to be aligned with said organization, so that we're not holding up this process. Students get out of school in a couple of weeks here and we have nothing for them. So I just want us to be clear that this is the holdup right now.
Thank you. Any other questions? That is on message for this myself. So I think my points have all been made. The fact is that people aren't going to be willing to submit applications to be a part of this program and get the money is going to be there. And this council has shown over and over and over again that they want those people, and on a practical matter, those people are not going to apply for a position. Now, we can sit there and we can amend this resolution to say that council has final approval over the organizations, but I don't know that we want to do that. So, that's my time. I'm going to take a minute and Attorney Wallace, can you please give me your opinion on the camera stand issue, please?
Yes, I can. Okay, after looking at the definition in Merriam-Webster, standing alone or on its own foundation, free of support or attachment. So it's either or, standing alone or on its own foundation, free of support. The resolution 240181 says that all use of freestanding camera stands, including but not limited to tripods, camera stands, and physical devices used to support or elevate cameras. Cell phones or other video recording devices is restricted to an area designated by the city clerk. in northeast corner of City Council chambers. So, the resolution doesn't just speak to tripods, it speaks to any other type of device that is used to support or elevate a camera. Therefore, it's my legal opinion that whether it's a tripod standing on its own or a single device that's used to elevate or to support a camera, it should be restricted to the northeast corner.
Sir, I'm going to ask you to go back to the back corner, please.
They care more about this than the water.
Question information.
What's your request?
So my request is, so when we're looking at the definition, standing alone, it is not standing alone, this is one lady needs assistance, or it's foundation free of support. It's not free of support because it takes into balance.
It also says elevate, so he is elevating.
So if he wore a body camera, is that the same thing?
810, you recorded this, right?
Yeah.
You don't know me. You don't know me.
Welcome to Flint.
That is some crazy.
Now, request for, in addition to people that have been removed from meetings, they are not at the meetings of the microphone. Hence, public safety.
Need to make sure that the doorway is clear for people who have been removed from the meeting. Thank you. This is the second round of discussion.
Where is the statement, they're out of the meeting, they're now in the public. There's no rule state that they can't stand by the doorway. People just walk by.
Point of order. So if they are removed from the meeting, and this is the only thing happening in the building right now, if they're removed from here, they should actually leave the building.
Tonight?
This is the second round of
They don't
discussion.
live announce their challenges that they making
They make them up as they go. Just like she
Shane, are you aware that, according to last year's report, that students, or when I say students, I'm gonna say, youth outside of Flint receive these jobs? Are you also aware that one of the recipients, are you also aware that one of the recipients, organizations gave a job to one of their own children?
said, what of them did what?
I'm obviously taking your word for your comment.
Request for information. Who were they? And who did they work for?
Are you aware of that?
Is it a fact?
It's on the paper, I'm assuming it came from the organization or from the administration, we put the package together.
Request for information.
Dang.
Can we all receive the same paper so we all can be on the
We all
same?
have the same paper.
Okay. All right, so is there?
So, obviously you're not aware, I'm gonna say that you're not aware of those things that.
I'm standing in for a person's mind, as I stated at the very start.
Okay, well, I know that, but if you can't speak to the stuff, then just say that the person's not here, you can't speak.
I said that at the very start.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Any other discussion?
This is the second round?
Yes.
How many people are voting in the second round?
Just Mrs. White. Mr. Piper,
Okay.
Mrs. Piper, is the county here on this resolution that says that non-resident students receive money?
Somebody kid got a job, is that what he said?
Yeah.
Who kid got a job?
No, you have to look the address up.
Yes, we do.
Thank you. So, as we look, and our colleague won't tell us where, oh, exactly.
What page?
We are looking to see where.
So, point of information, I'm looking at the page and all of these say Flint, Michigan.
Yeah,
So we can kind of see where else, so all of these say Flint, Michigan.
right. And we're talking about,
They heard him,
yeah, so, Madam Chair, could you please give him a warning for yelling out? Madam Chair, he was the one that left talking about F you, so I didn't want to be on the
That
word.
was
You
last
can't have people
week.
yelling out
That
at
was
people like
last
this.
week. That was last week. She's so childish.
She need to grow up. I ain't never seen nobody this immature. She is immature. They like the wrong person.
So anyway, it's my time, so we can just go ahead and let my time continue to roll. Thank you. According to this Flint Clean and Safe Summer Youth Job, I'm looking, Mr. Seamus, and I don't see it. I don't see one street that is not Flint. All of these streets look familiar to be city of Flint Street.
Mill Creek is, they may say Flint, but that does not mean that they're in Flint. For example, my mother's address says Flint, but it's not Morris Township.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Creek is not,
Thank you so much, Ms. Burns. And that is the Numa Creek Theater, that is in the second ward, and that's also the theater of Jerry Carter's father. So we can go ahead and make sure that we don't give them funding because they are, so they are making sure that they are highlighting, accepting you, not to Flint. So thank you for that. And so back to my point. I don't want to gatekeep. I want to uphold the rules. And so the rules say that you must only employ kids that live in Flint, which this is what the money is for. We want to make sure that that's the case. So since you have identified the Newell Creek Theater as an employer that is employing youth outside the city of Flint, we will make sure that.
she's speaking to my motives, telling me I did not say that it was the Newell Creek. That's what you see.
Okay.
Dang.
I did not say it was the Creek at all.
Mill Creek is actually in Flint Township, whether they received payment or not, I don't know, but that resident is in Flint
She
Township.
just bought a freak child and JWC.
Thank you.
No, point of request information, Madam Chair. Did you know that what she said was, one of our colleagues said it was Mill Creek. The other colleague pointed out that that was under the Creek Theater's employment. I think we're missing the point. One pointed out that it was under, that it says Mill Creek, the other pointed out who the service provider was.
And I know that there was at least one person who was employed at the Creek to not receive money.
All right, but this is what we have here, since we have colleagues that are gatekeeping. Colleagues that have said from their legacy tonight that if an organization is here that they're not going to pass it, it's not our job to gatekeep. And it's not our job to approve the organizations. Our job is to pass money and orders, and that's what our job is to do. And our job is also to meet with the mayor as he extended the olive branch to the office so he can hear our priorities. He's been saying that all year, and he sent out another email. And so we have colleagues that's refusing to do so. So going back to my point, so seeing that the Newell Creek Theater.
Point of order. She does not need to speak a violation of Robert's Rules 43.21. She don't know if we denied to meet with him or not, so stop her from lying. Go ahead.
Okay, so this conversation wouldn't even be had if you meet with the mayor. But the point is, our colleague pointed out that Mill Creek is not in Flint, you're right. And Mill Creek, McCree is appointing students that lived on Mill Creek. So what we just came to the conclusion of, the new McCree Theater is appointing people outside Flint.
Which requires, I think we might want to look at Knickerbocker Avenue, which I think that's Beecher.
So who was on this?
That's not McCree, that's the good church.
All right.
All right. Well, all right, thank you. So if you look at it from the top report, I don't like to assume, so now can we pause the time? So we can just, so we can look that up, because I want to be clear, and I want to be factual. Everyone that's up in the background, you know that the city really have an odd relationship with the truth, so we want to make sure that we.
Is that like a bishop and you? Excuse me.
Damn, Judy, control your meeting.
Request for it.
I was just gonna answer one of them.
Go ahead.
That is not considered. Same with,
So my association is, the truth is really good then.
Right, okay, so we can go ahead and make note of that as well. Again, this is not about gatekeeping. I'm not up here saying who I will not give money to without a valid reason. And so, we need to move forward and do what's in the best interest of the youth. Let's pass these jobs, but if we stay on the mic, that we are gatekeeping the situation. And point of order, can we please have our officers go in the back, because they should not be yelling out and blurting out. They should not. They're being disorderly in the back corner. Is the officer there?
Go back there with administration too.
All right, well, we need to have stop hiding and let's go ahead and enforce the rule.
Thank you. So I'm sorry to our police that you are being weaponized against residents.
Well, she started, she was interfering when the police were trying to do their job last week. So she was going to be sorry.
I get this, because I'm not going to do it. You're well-established, you're right.
Yeah, that's what they do.
So, who vetted these, whoever vetted these, I don't think that they were vetted properly, because it states a Flint address, but all that intelligence, you should know better. I do want to say this, when we talk about, I'm definitely not a gatekeeper, but we last year did not have the, we had the names, and that's what I'm saying to you. Now, I know that, the councilwoman in the second ward was a huge, no, you were stressed enough, and so I don't really need you. I'm good with it. I do know that, when we talk about it, like I said, some of these addresses may stay Flint, but they're not. But I know I'm not gatekeeping, and all this gaslighting, she needs to stop. This is whoever's responsibility to check these addresses. And the mess that she's in, her energy is just nasty tonight, and it's very unacceptable.
Right.
And she was a stickler on making sure people to get fed in her ward and saying, so I surely know she wouldn't approve it, because they had the audacity to feed people who were hungry that were coming through that line. So I think that, and I'm looking at some of these other addresses.
48533.
Yeah, there's some ones that you need to put in the property portal. So if she's trying to flip this script on us.
Linden Lane, look up Linden Lane.
And then to come off and to say, I want to say this, the great theater does absolutely great work. And
Request for information.
I'm not answering you, so you
Request for information. Thank you. So what do you mean by those are her people?
So that's an improper request for information.
No, that's
So the Green Theater does absolutely great work in this community, and I will not let her nasty opinion and comments speak to the good deeds that happen. And she also likes to use that facility and has been there. So McCree does good work in this community. They will continue. Now, whether that is Councilwoman Winfrey Carter, the senior most council a mess. Get your list together, we won't have to question it. And that's the part that you need to stop with. So if these are, and some of these are not Flint, and you up here doing all this, stop that. Liddell, if you are weaponizing the police, you're throwing people out, you're yelling and screaming, you lack decorum, you accusatory, you need to stop. Because if you need to.
Please stay relevant.
So if we needed to go through, and it has been something that is important with these children, this is not our list. We didn't vet them. Now, she could go with her pastors too. I don't know if this one is either.
Linden
We
Lane,
looking at them.
Linden Lane.
Yeah, well, yeah. So what do you got to say about your church not living in
Excuse
Flint?
me, we have a request. What's your request?
The last zip code.
That there's, three individuals that are outside.
485.
The audacity of that, can she speak to that?
This is just crazy.
Madam Chair,
Let's get rid of everything.
Madam Chair, I'd like the floor. So we just spent, I don't know how much time, rather than focus on youth jobs, doing everything but. So when the conversation needed to be about youth jobs, why they should have jobs, and maybe, giving some organizations, there was no energy, there was no answers, there was nothing. But now that we need to pick it apart because we don't want it to succeed, because we're mad that it succeeded last year because it was the mayor's initiative, now we need to pick apart. Whose name did I say? Whose name did I say? Whose name did I say?
Excuse me, no arguing.
You do not want to succeed.
Whose name did I say?
Go ahead.
Thank you, because I didn't say that one name. It dogs won't holler. Now, as I was saying, we're doing everything but Sophie's room because this could have been done before this meeting, but because we need to tear it apart publicly to make ourselves look good and look like we're not attacking youth jobs, now we gotta do this right here at this meeting when the reality is.
Now she is speaking to our.
Whose name did I say?
You're only the council members up here, so you're picking it apart.
Whose name did I say?
Madam,
Thank you.
Point of order, before we go in.
Seamus, while you're in the middle of this point of order, can you help us raise her?
Point of order. She called that rule like 15 times and it's been wrong tonight. And according to our rule, if you continue to abuse privilege motion, you will be brought to order. And so, you don't let her do it? Okay, oh, we good? Okay. Okay, no, let's just see how good we be if you're going to continue to allow her to violate the council rules.
Go ahead, Ms. Bichette.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us again. Go ahead. Could you pause? They're wasting my time. Pause. Can we get it back at 2:06?
It don't matter. They gonna argue for 20 minutes.
Go ahead.
Through you to Councilman Ward, going back to what you're saying about
He's still gonna vote no.
of the organizations. We can get an idea of what that looks like, what that means. And my question was, I'm not sure if you're sitting there, the last round was, does that mean that we have these names?
Point of order, I can't.
We're on my time.
Point of order.
This is not my time.
Point of order. Point of order. My point is, she's talking to now, telling you, you need to stand on business.
Do you point of order? Are you going to point it or you going to?
All right, we are now abusing point of orders to out of control. This is, you're all. Go ahead.
We're on my time. I was listening to him.
I want to talk too.
There's somebody in the back yelling out, and so you might want to deal with that.
Y'all sound like kids up there.
It was also on his phone.
Well, you in violation too of being on your phone.
She is tripping.
They up here crashing out.
There go Liddell.
All right, thank you.
Like I was saying, I understand what the councilman in the Mines Board was asking about earlier. We had a discussion about that, potential fiduciary. I understand there's others that are in support of this. I really want to see this pass. I know the administration wants to see this pass. So again, I'm speaking to the councilman in the 8th Ward, through you, and the councilman in the 6th Ward, Councilman Burns. If you could give us an idea of what that looks like. Is the expectation that we make a list? It could be 20, 30, who knows how many people, how many entities or companies that are interested? Did they all have to come in before you guys? Will you guys be here? Will they have a quorum? Will they be coming in wasting their time? All of that sort of stuff. I'm just bringing that before you. I really want to understand of how we can move this forward, because this is not about what it's about. This is about the youth getting jobs, the youth need jobs, the youth need to be off the streets in the summer. We see it. We've been asked constantly as an administration, what are we doing for the youth? What are we doing for the young people? This is an opportunity to show that we're actually doing something. We can be joined in unity, doing this and making this happen. And again, we are staff, we're here to do our jobs, we want to do our jobs. We don't want to be sitting here and listening to this crap.
I know
Oh,
that's
wow.
right. Say it.
And I Because I said there were all different candidates, when the whole point of this resolution at this point in time is to talk about these jobs. And there were organizations that they wanted to see brought forward, and those organizations that they brought forward to the administration. You don't want to talk to the mayor, you can talk to that our screen, you can send an email. Clearly, Seamus is willing to talk to all councilors, so an email can be sent to him. But the bottom line is, right now, everything is being done to derail something that can help the youth for the summer. Thank you.
I need my charger.
I'm not going to take any time. This is a vote to send resolution 250140
This is a dumpster.
to council. I need 5 members in their seat to vote.
Oh, now she need
And
5.
I only have 4.
They in the building, they can vote.
It ain't gonna pass.
I do need council members in their seat to vote for this resolution.
It ain't gonna pass.
She trying to get the police to get us.
Council members, please return to this resolution.
Dale over there dry snitching.
Council members, please return to
Hey,
this
Liddell over there snitching.
resolution and go forward.
Look at Liddell over there snitching.
Tell Adele to get her ass up there.
Liddell over there snitching like never before.
Who is that lady back there with that camera? Is she recording you?
She over there telling like never before.
She's a professional snitch.
She's a teller. Look at her. She done set up and did all that telling.
Ariella, please take your seat.
You said you got you.
Judy so mad. Liddell so mad.
She calling the chief of police.
This is when you call. This is the telling.
Pretty soon.
This is the vote to send resolution 250140 to council.
Ain't this for the youth jobs that she worried about? Ain't this her resolution? Ain't this the one she was screaming about?
Oh, she is calling. Look, she calling like a big dog.
Kill it, since she ain't up there.
Point of order.
What's your point?
We can only abstain if it's a personal conflict.
It's a personal conflict.
Personal conflict, financial conflict. Go ahead.
Yes. Mr. Chair.
But she care about youth jobs so much.
She over here. She didn't care about them votes.
It's
She over there telling.
Next resolution is 250155, 2025-2026, master fee schedule. Entertain a motion.
Boy, when she do, she get on here, man. She is.
Madam Chair, make a motion that we move this to council.
Board to send resolution 250155 to council platform. Councilwoman in the seventh ward, is there support? I'll support that. Is there any discussion?
She over there calling her fire.
There were questions last week about the master fee schedule. Mr. Moore, I understand what Mr. Moore.
No, we do.
You won't have answers.
He just up there smiling. Look how Mr. Moore up there smiling.
The budget or how much about the consider the fees, and who's the director here? Well, the McKinley Center has some questions about the fees and how they would be leasing the building.
Yeah, she's here.
Is she here?
Ms. Wiggins?
She said she wanna ask you now that hair is sharp. And that's what you call a hairstyle.
Hi, Mrs. Wiggins, how are you? Good. So I have some questions in regards to, your director. Yes. You have a deputy director? Yes. How many employees do you have? Just the one. Just the one. We also requested for your, personal service contract, we didn't get it. I've asked for that several times, and so for us to have a center around here that's running. So on the master fee schedule, my question was for, how did you, were you a part of the process where they, it was the 450, 100, 450, 350, 100, was that about for the master fee? It takes a different age group. There was one that we have a membership fee, which is $350. Yeah, a membership fee for $350. I mean, that's rental fee. Yes, for if you're a member of many centers, you only have to pay $350 for rental. If you're a non-member, you pay $450 for rental. If you are 80 years plus, you pay $100. So this is it's not just the senior center, are both of them community centers? Or are they, because they're not just senior centers, are they? Because I believe at the community center we're looking at for the fee, and I think that fee may be different because won't you be doing a project, the McKinley Center with another group?
I'm not sure, I have to do my research, and I'm not sure if Mr. Arnett would have to answer that question. I'm not sure.
Okay, I believe there's another, the coalition, I have to look at with Mark Evans, and I believe they're supposed to be in the McKinley Center. So I don't know how those fees, if they're utilizing that, how that's going to be. I believe they got they received funds from Genesee County.
She didn't call it the mayor.
She didn't call the mayor, she didn't call the chief of police, she didn't call Trump,
Okay.
she didn't call Biden.
Okay, I guess I'll have to, well, Mr. Moore, you can answer that, I ain't gonna sell the question in regards to who else uses that facility and how we came up with the fees. Because I believe the fee is going to be a dual center being used for more than one nonprofit or one group.
That's really not operational, when that opens up. Will that refer to Augusta fees for that?
Yeah, here's someone that, Mount Evans has a program that's coming in here.
She got there.
I guess Mrs. Wiggins is in the bureau.
But they're gonna call the police on y'all big one.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other discussion on the
Ms. Williams, can you explain to me what member and non-member is?
I keep
A member is an individual who lives in the city of Flint 55 years or more. That's considered a member of the Mays Senior Center.
But isn't a member, non-member part of the community?
McKinley is not open yet, so we
But
haven't.
it's on, it's not open, but it's on this member form, so.
Okay, I can only answer to, at this time, to Mays Center.
Okay, so should we strike the information on the McKinley?
I can only answer right to Mays Center at this time.
So, Mays, it says Mays Senior and Service Community Center, so only seniors should be members?
For the senior center, only 55,
Which one is the senior center?
Mays is called Mays Senior Center.
Because this says Mays Senior and Service Center.
And Community Service Center, correct. We have programs there for the community, different services available for the community, but from the hours of 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. is a senior center. And we accommodate individuals who are 55 and up at that center.
So if someone wanted to rent it after those hours, say a Boy Scout or a Girl Scout troop or something else, they would not get a member rate because they're not over 55, is that correct?
Well, we're talking two different entities. We're talking from 8 o'clock in the morning, Monday through Friday, until 5 o'clock, that's a senior center. And we're not talking about rentals. Okay, you're talking about
I'm
rentals.
talking about rentals.
Okay.
Because this is, I'm talking about the member and non-member rentals. And I'm asking, and that's why I asked, who is a member? And you said anybody, city of Flint, above 55 is a member. Is that correct, David?
But yes, can be a member for the senior center, yes.
They do it.
Senior center, but it says service community center.
Okay.
Is it different? Is it called something different after that?
So, yes, so if you want to rent the center after 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock in the evening, and you're affiliated with someone who is a member, you are also privy to that discount.
Is there anything in writing showing all of these rules and regulations that we have? Because
And they look at each other. This is classic.
This one's in the master fee schedule.
just in the master fee schedule. So where in the master fee schedule does it say the description of members and members? It doesn't. And it's, where does it say that after hours it's a different rate or, 4-hour rental block for event for 80 years old or more, that's the only thing that identifies. I would like the rules and the regulations and all that stuff that regarding these charges in writing, in descriptions and all of that. No offense, but I'm looking. And is this only a senior center or is this a community center?
This is the name of the center is the Mays Senior Center and Community Service Center. That's the name of the center.
So it's not exclusively a senior center?
Well, and you know what, I'll do my research and I'll get back to you.
Mr. Moore, were we able to run any of those reports that I requested?
We were working on, I came to school, and I just haven't had time to read it, but we find out for the,
Individual charges?
right. There is, the system does have a lot of information. It takes time Definitely.
Any other discussion on the first round?
Here comes Satan.
Go ahead, Ms. Moore.
Yeah,
Winter.
it's not an easy thing to do, but we can do it. Just take it.
Okay, any other discussion on this in the first round? Any other discussion on the first round? Any discussion? Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. Madam Chair, for you to, the director of the center.
Ms. Wiggins, yes. Mrs. Wiggins.
Thank you for coming back up. Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for trying to provide answers. Because I do want to clarify that you said it's called the Mays Senior and Community Service Center. I also want to clarify that I did hear you say the fact that from 8 to 5, is it 8 a.m.?
Correct.
Okay, from 8 to 5, that it is a senior center, in fact, that it is exclusively for seniors to use the services there. But that in the evening, other members of the community have the ability to utilize that location as well.
Correct.
Correct. And I know that you all also offer different classes or initiatives that happen in that building as well.
Correct.
Right, so I believe that that is where the community service center part comes in, because the community is welcome to use the building, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and then I also believe I heard you say that members of the senior center, so 55 and older, that they have a discount rate, and then if you're over 80, it's even more of a deep discount rate to use it for special events after hours.
Correct.
Okay. And then I believe I also heard you say that non-members, meaning people that are under the age of 55, so 54 and below, can also use the center for special events after hours as well.
Correct.
Okay, because I'm understanding, I hear what you're saying, and I see where the community service center part is coming in. So thank you, because your explanation was a good, detailed explanation. And I just want you to know that it was, and it was clear. So thank you for giving a clear, detailed explanation. I appreciate that. And you also made it clear that the McKinley Center is not open quite yet. And so you're not over there, so you will not have details on a center that you are not yet running, correct? Thank you, because you made that very clear as well. That was perfectly clear, so thank you for being clear when you said that. Thank you for also stating that because the McKinley Center is not open, that there are some things still being worked out for what it will look like once it is open. And so because you don't have the responsibility of the center yet, you can't speak to the services there because they're still being worked out. Did I hear that correctly?
That's correct.
Thank you. You were very clear when you said that as well. Also, as it relates to the McKinley Center, you said that once it is open and everything has been negotiated, that you will have some direction over that center, so you would be able to come back and then speak to that and the fee, and if there are any fees associated with that one as well, correct?
Correct.
Thank you. You've been very clear tonight on who you are and your responsibilities as it relates to the Mays Senior and Community Service Center, and as it relates to the not yet open, not yet under your direction, McKinley Center. Thank you. I yield.
Okay.
He looks so damn
anybody else?
confused.
I'm gonna take them. I think everybody's spoken, except for Mr. Jarrett, did you want to speak? Okay, so I'm gonna take some time, just a few minutes on the McKinley Center, because it doesn't make sense to go back. If the pricing seems to be identical to Mays Center for McKinley, and if we're gonna have that open this year, already having those fees set makes a lot of sense. And if they don't open, then there will be no fee assessed because it's not available. And I wanted to make that clear. All right, anybody in the second round? Go ahead.
I want to be very clear that it was not clear. So, you are hired to run the McKinley Center and the Mays Center, is that correct?
hired to, operate Mays Senior Center and Community Center.
That ain't what the mayor said.
Okay, until I see what, and it's no offense to you, what your job description is, I will not be approving this. We don't even know how much you make. That did not come before us, just like the two new,
Request for information. Is her salary a part of the resolution?
I will state her job description and what she does. In case you didn't know
Excuse
that.
me, this is, through me, but I can answer that, is that this is just on the master fee schedule, it has nothing to do with her salary.
So for me, it does, and I can ask, I'm elected just like that. So when it goes to the master fee, because it's actually on here. And so if you're not running that thing and it's not open, then it needs to come off. It needs to come off until the time that it is up and running. You should not be putting something on here that it doesn't apply to. And I still would like to see her personal service contract. And it'll tell what her job description is, which deals with these centers which are on this master fee schedule. I've been asking, I've asked the deputy, it's not hired. You know, we ask for stuff we don't get it. And so with this, we're saying also that these are two different things. If we're not using them McKinley, then it needs to be amended to take it off. But if it's in your job description to run that, then, you know, we need to make some adjustments. And I know that in job descriptions, they're very specific as to what we're running. And that was my reasoning for asking. Because if it's not open yet, and I know that our evidence will be opening up, I don't know when. But my question is do we have, is there any senior village funding that we get for the main center? Did we get any from the county?
Not at this point.
Okay, have we applied, have we been denied?
We've applied, going through the process. We still need to have a public health inspection. And we're going to be working to try to get the.
Okay, so in the main center, they failed the building inspections. Were you aware of that? Why are we renting this out? Our own Flint Fire Department failed the main center. Why are we renting it out? And these are things from the senior village.
We did pass the inspections.
When did they pass? Because when you submit over to the county, they have a whole list of things that failed.
That was prior to, our occupancy of the, main center. That was.
Can I see a copy of your occupancy, please, if we can all get that? Thank
Thank
you.
you. Anybody else?
Now her husband is the fire chief. That's a damn shame. He violated his wife.
Mr. Walton, if I give you,
Simple math, Dennis. Simple math.
10, 12 line items, how long?
Shit. Nothing too damn. Don't go with the timetables on his ass.
I have an issue with the rental inspection fee. This is not a question this is more. I have several, and I know that they're in litigation on a few of these, so I don't want to speak for them necessarily. But Mr. Moore, I will get you, I was hoping to get a extension list, but if I can get you 10 or 12 line items, hopefully we get those reports from.
I think so, yes.
And then, I'm in agreement with my colleague in the sixth report. Until, we're showing how these centers are going to be funded, I think that having both of these community centers open, or on this master fee schedule, whether they're open or not, to me, is putting the cart before the horse, because where is the funding coming from? If we're still waiting on county dollars, how are we funding, and how are we funding Ms. Woods' salary right now? On what account?
Liddell said, be quiet.
Wages are coming out of, ARPA fund
I'm sorry, what?
ARPA. And
Wages are coming out of ARPA?
yes, sir.
Okay.
Ha!
And
Y'all didn't give him the script tonight.
coming out of
Coming out.
park recreation.
So what expenses are?
He's spilling all the beans tonight, ain't he?
The lighting bill and that type of stuff?
Right, yes, sir. There was also another, ARPA, resolution that, included capital for, the Hasbrook Center. And, some of the bigger pictures that come out of that.
Keep him talking.
What bigger expenditures?
Yep, keep him going.
That'd be like pool table, TV,
We purchased those for the basin?
yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. I appreciate it, thank you.
Any other discussions? Madam Chair, go ahead.
I do want to be clear and reiterate the fact that you clearly stated your position, made perfect sense, and what Councilwoman in the fourth ward said made sense as well, and the fact that the McKinley Center needs to be here because we're in this. The assumption is that the same thing that's being done in one center will be done at the other. So that's why the fees are the same, and that's why the fees are matching. And like Ms. Priestley said, that if the center is not open, there's no fee to assess, there's nothing to rent out, there's nothing to do with. I think that it is poor legislation, and I think that it is reactive to try and put something in afterwards. I think that that is just simply not an intelligent way to legislate. I think what makes sense is to have that in there. And so that when the time comes and that center opens, because the fees are going to be the same, because we're treating the centers as the same, then the fees are already in place. There's nothing that has to wait to try to come back and be dealt with. The fact that it's already there, they're already being treated equally, and then should you need to rent that out or do whatever, those fees are already in place. That's just good governance. That's common sense governance. I do want to also, again, thank you for being here, because the problem is sometimes there are aggressive tones used towards you when it's not about you, when it has nothing to do with you. So I thank you for your grace under pressure. And you standing there and specifically doing your job and staying professional and answering the questions that you are asked. Even though they may be asked several different ways, and you're clear on all the ways that they're being asked, and the answer is the answer. There's nothing that you are trying to hide. You're simply coming before council as requested and answering questions about your position. I think another thing that my colleague in the fourth ward was 100% correct about is nowhere on this agenda, nowhere in this master fee is your salary. And so that's not a reason to hold up a vote about a master fee schedule. And so I want to, I'm sorry. Anyway, so again, just thank you for your grace under pressure. Thank you for coming to simply try and do your job. And again, you were clear on the fact that you are currently only running the Mays Center and Community Service Center. The Mays Senior and Community Services, because that is the only one that is open right now. And so that's the one that you can answer for, because that's the one that contractually, the only one that you can run. You can't run something that's not open. You can't have answers for something that's already up in the air. So thank you very much. Actually, you'll probably have to do it on someone else's time.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the second?
Can I make a comment?
Yes, go ahead.
It was just pointed out to me that, the job description and the job posting was posted in the city council, for the check their emails and find the salary range and the job descriptions that were used for hiring.
Request for information.
What's your request?
I would like to have a personal service contract, because we know that.
Hold on, wait, whoa. Isn't
That is taking the floor. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Proceed, Mr. Gibb. Were you done? Okay, thank you. you like to add anything else, Ms. Williams? No, okay.
Here come,
So,
come there now.
It was a competitive proposal, too.
you said it was competitive?
Tell him to explain it.
Okay, thank you, and thank you so much, Ms. Williams.
Request for information.
What's your request?
Our request is, through, YouTube, did we, this, you can pay out our, did we approve?
No, that's, I don't have that information, so, that should have been taken during your time. So, thank you so much. Yeah, so you all can definitely have a seat. Thank you so much for your time and your commitment to the city. And so what we need to do is, make good use of our time. Ask good questions during our time. That's what we're supposed to do. And so we have another senior citizen center that's slated to be open. And then we hear that they may not get a vote. Well, see, the master fee schedule might not be a vote because of the executive salary, not the same thing. And so hopefully we can pass this because we need to have every single resource activated legally in this city that we can. And so we also need to pass this master fee schedule as well, because it determines clearly the master fee for the city. This isn't our first time having an understanding what the master fee schedule is. We all know what it is, we know what it does, and we know what we need to do during this time. So I'll be remiss not to pass this. We had a long time to get all the details that we needed. We even had this weekend, Madam Chair. So when exactly did we get information, I guess, off the master fee schedule? When did we know this was going to be on the agenda?
We received this resolution,
Okay, 23rd. Okay. Oh, the 13th, okay, got it. And so we had the opportunity, all the information we needed. James, would you please come through you, Madam Chair?
Yeah, just a couple of points that were raised to clarify. The job is posted and it's available there. I can send you the link, it's still actually there. You can see it. And it was a competitive process, so we, initially we put it out to bid for a contract monthly bid on it, so we went through the competitive process, but also on the funding source. City Council approved a resolution that Evan Door put up together a few months ago that paid for a number of positions and 2 community center liaisons were in that initial resolution that was approved by Council. That's up front.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
Madam Chair.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Gerald.
Through you to whomever from the administration can speak to the water sewer bill rates.
Yes, Mr. Moore.
Mr. Moore, line 634 through 637. Residential city meter size. And these are, if I understand correctly, the lines that are serving the homes. And there are 4 different sizes.
Correct.
Okay, so if when your home was built, you have 5/8 by 3/4, you pay this 20, which you pay under $30.
Right, correct.
Size 1 or more, you pay $58 to have access primarily, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, is this the body then that can make adjustment to these?
Yes, make adjustments to the water rate or involves, cost. Unfortunately, we need to make sure that there's certain rules that we have to follow on the center.
So what do we have to do to lower the monthly access rate? Because someone bought a house not realizing that they have a 1 inch or a 1.5 inch or a 2 inch, and I'm gonna pay forever double just to have access. Not that I'm using more, but to have access.
I believe there's a process that they, you know, a smaller size meter will reduce the flow, and reduce the fee for the homeowner.
Okay, what adjustment though can be made to the fee itself? How do we go about that, changing this 58 maybe to 48?
First step would probably be kind of, water rates. When you set water rates, you have to make sure that you meet certain guidelines that are established by the state. So you can't just, you can't have arbitrary rate between the different steps. You have to, with the process, you have to follow, you have to meet certain criteria in order to set the rates.
Okay. So we're not the body that can work to do that.
Well, we can give us the feedback and get work done, but if there is a process, you can't proceed forward rates. You have to make sure that,
Thank you.
rates are.
Mr. Moore, you can continue on my time. I mean, we're present spoken.
You have to make sure that the different rates, meet the criteria that the state.
So, Mr. Moore, you can set some of this. I know that I had a business in my ward that called me up complaining that her water rates went up. And Eagle, she had been being billed as a residential, and it was a business, and Eagle made the city change it and charge her business rates. So Eagle does have some control over what we charge, even though it's our water system. They have some oversight.
That's correct.
Thank you. This is the vote to send resolution 250155-T, adoption of the fiscal year 2026 masterpiece schedule.
They did all that moving online.
Ms. Burns?
Oh, I killed it.
Ms. Michelle? Yes. Mr. Pfeiffer? Mr. Garrett?
Yes.
Mr. Allen, Ms. Jackson? Dr. Lewis?
Yes.
Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
The vote is 4 yes, 2 no.
The vote is 4 yes, 2 no, that motion fails. Motion on the floor by Councilman in the 8th ward to keep the finances for support. It's been supported by Councilwoman Sexton. This is the vote.
Ms. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Jackson? Pfeiffer? Ms. Garrett?
Yes.
Dr. Lewis?
Yes.
Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
Vote is 6 yes, 0 no.
The vote is 6 yes, 0 no. Just for people's understanding that without this masterpiece schedule, we are going to be not passing.
Well, they about to go.
The next one is 250156-T, Sunset Street Lighting Cost fiscal year 2026. Supported by Councilwoman 7 for discussion.
Mr. Moore, is there any kind of, honestly, I can't remember if you had us speaking to about what we're gonna do with the funds that we have in this account?
We have a great conversation on that.
Has there been any, Madam Chair, can you reword it?
Please, people, we are trying to listen. And they actually, it's on both sides of the chambers, both the administration and the others.
Has there been any discussions inside of the administration on this, like at the city plan or whatever, that hit the press about how we're going to spend these money?
That's right. We have talked about how we want to replace all the.
No, I think my conversation was with Ashley, that's why, or, I think it was Ashley. Is Ashley here?
Ashley, are you here? Is Ashley here?
Let's see her.
Okay.
That's why we had an in-depth conversation with Ashley, on a special meeting. Given the amount of money that we have in this account, between 4 to 5 million, maybe more, is there any, thoughts, which is 2 years in reserve, is there any thought of reducing this assessment?
We have had some discussions about that, with the new lights, for the long-term that will reduce our overall cost.
Well, I hope so. It was told that we were reduced by 50%.
So, we have had some discussion about trying to reduce it. Internally, we talked about, reducing it by $7 to $8. That would bring it down, by 12%. And, because we don't want to lose the.
No, and I'm with you, and I'm not necessarily advocating that we lower it. I'm advocating we either lower it or we spend the money and get rid of all these dark spots in the city. Because we have all this money, so why not use it?
We are planning to expand the number of lights. The plan is to overlay the dark spots with the prime maps and hit those areas first and make it a lot brighter. And then we'll plan to do that throughout the city, so hopefully make the city a lot brighter over time.
When is that going to start?
That'd be an actual question.
I'll listen to my other colleagues and what they want to do with this, but to me, we have 2 years of reserve, and we just spent $2 million of ARPA dollars to lower our operating costs by allegedly 50% is what we were told. So I would like to see a plan, or would like to see us reduce this, so, but to me, we keep charging the same amount, we have such a surplus of this fund, why not give it back to the residents? Because, why not give it back to the residents and take whatever we give back on this, and instead of raising garbage 30% next year, maybe we, change the garbage number this year and reduce this one, so it's an offset equal cost. I mean, to me, that makes more sense than, throwing 30% garbage on next year out of the blue, when we have access funds in this one. So, do you have an opinion on that, someone?
I think that'd be a different, I wouldn't be opposed to that.
All right, I'll listen to my colleagues, thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Any other discussion on this?
Madam Chair.
Oh, go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Moore, thank you. So what is it going to take, or what would it take to start the process to do the offset that the councilman paid for?
I think just give staff direction, that if you're interested in that, I think it's about a resolution to do that.
What?
Okay, so direction to the staff to write a resolution to do such.
To reduce the reduce the streetlights and to increase the traffic by equal amount. I think we can come up with another.
This is what I can
Result.
He the CFO.
Is that something you think we can have complete by the next committee meeting, subcommittee meeting?
You can't ask the chief.
Okay. if I understood sort of what was said prior to us getting to this resolution coming out of the vote
Trying to
of the
help
last, and I think what I heard was the budget is not now gonna be able to be approved in this meeting. Does this resolution have any impact on the budget?
No, the budget will be fine.
Point of information. It actually impacts the property tax base. Yeah, so it impacts the property tax base.
So this will also is gonna have an impact then on,
The way we appropriate by the expenditures and so, that wouldn't have much of an impact on the budget resolution itself. But we would need to change the street lighting resolution and the cash resolution for the special assessments. That would be confirmed.
okay, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion on the first round? Any other discussion on the first round? Stacy, did you get something you wanted to say? I'll take my time. Stacy. Okay. Oh, she's trying to do it. So, I'm still gonna take my time. I did think about this, about possibly reducing it $1 or $2, just so that it doesn't, impact us too much, because we do need additional streetlights in the city. The question is how much are those streetlights going to cost? And I looked at the resolution that we approved last month on the streetlights, and it doesn't say how much those are going to be. But I know that when we approved the ARPA budget, that the 2.8 was going to include additional streetlights, but the estimate actually came in a little higher without the additional streetlights. So, and I was told by a gentleman that I know who is in charge of this program, that it's going to take about a year to change out the light bulbs over to the LEDs.
So take some time.
Yeah, and so I don't know that we will see a large benefit to it until fiscal year 27. But I am not opposed to changing it $1 or $2 or something like that, or we can just leave it as is and use that fund to upgrade more streetlights or add more additional streetlights. So, but also by not changing it, we're not affecting anything. Additional property taxes are going to go up just because assessments went up. But not I'm talking about the taxable value assessments, not the special assessments like the technology generous. So, I'm kind of hesitant about reducing it, although I did think about it, until we know what the impact of this will be and how much it would cost us to replace streetlights, and so that maybe this would be a big reduction in savings for fiscal year 27 and not for fiscal year 26. So I think that we just don't have enough information at this time to change for any large amount of dollars. So that's where I'm at on this. And I would love to reduce a couple bucks on the taxes, but if it's going to jeopardize adding streetlights to the city, I'm not sure I want to do that either. So time for the second round. Any discussion on the second round? Go ahead.
Mr. Moore, you said that there was discussion that we could possibly lower this up to $8.
That'd be at the high end.
I'm sorry?
That'd be at the high end, yes.
That'd be high. Madam Chair, I make a motion to amend the resolution to 250-156.1 to reduce the dollar value in paragraph 5 from 7218 to 6418. $64.18, and I so move.
6418, there's a motion on the floor to amend.
Madam Chair, also in the last page result, there's also the same dollar value representation.
Okay, to amend the dollar value to 6418, is there support? That was by the councilman. Councilman in the eighth ward, is there support? Support. So moved, properly supported to amend resolution 250156 to 6418.
Madam Chair.
Yeah, they're about to go, she definitely ain't about to lower no taxes.
We have discussion.
Yeah, I'll take the first one. Mr. Moore, I only make this to, put that same $8 on the trash contract, on the trash waste thing. So it will be a net even to the residents. Is that a correct statement? If we take $8 from this and put it on the waste.
That makes a lot of sense, yes.
And, is this something that the administration would support?
I would think so, I'm not trying to speak for, but I would say, yeah, I would be, my recommendation would be, go ahead and support that.
Okay. And I do.
She's big, man. She going
full
home.
years of reserve of the street light assessment in this county. We spent about
Yeah,
2.5
charging on my
and now
phone.
over 5. So we have 2 full years of support in this account if we didn't collect any dollars. And you know for a fact that trash is going up next year. And this right here will cushion that impact. Is that a correct statement?
Yes.
Thank you. So this isn't to lower taxes, this is to cushion next year, because we know that next year a big deficit is coming in the waste account.
Balance, works out, better balance of our assessing.
She didn't get her one, so she going home.
So we're taking $8 from the streetlight assessment, and we're going to go to the streetlight assessment, and then when we get to the next one, the solid waste, which is the trash one, I'm going to go, or make a motion to raise it by $8. So next year, we have to raise it by 30%, now we only maybe have to raise it by 10%, instead of next year, we have to do all 30%. So, because, yeah, I guess there's no other way to explain it, right?
I think that's a lot of good argument for that.
Okay, thank you. I'll yield the rest of my time. If my colleagues have any other questions or comments or concerns that I'm not privy to all this, with the rest of my time. Thank you.
Madam Chair. Mr. Moore, did you get that?
Yeah, yeah.
So we're clear with what counts in 5%, so that's what I'm supporting. But I want to make sure that Mr. Moore has got so that, we don't get the translation or resolution in it.
It makes a lot of sense.
Any other discussion?
Yes, Madam Chair. So I do understand exactly what my colleague is saying in the A board about the surplus that we have in my assessment and why it is important that, because we did talk about being proactive when we discussed what we needed to do with the garbage assessment. So it is your opinion today as the CFO that the changes that are being proposed are changes that will not have any negative impact on street lighting. That next year we will not have to raise an assessment. That we have enough of a surplus to where when we find this year and next year as far as street lighting assessment goes. All right, and then it is also your understanding as the CFO that this is not changing anything on any property tax, even though we're lowering the street lighting assessment. We're simply moving that over so that cushions the blow for any possible, because hopefully by next year, we had this conversation before, the garbage assessment that we'll have a steady plan, but this is something that will add to the plan and give you something more to work with next year when we talk about garbage assessment.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? I'll take a few minutes and, Mr. Pfeiffer, I've discussed the need that we are not billing enough for garbage. Heather can acknowledge that as well. So I can support this 100%. It's not changing the amount of special assessments we're billing, but it's moving the money around. Thank you. Any discussion in the second round? Any discussion in the second round? This is the vote to amend resolution 250156 to the dollar amount of $64.18 in the appropriate places in the be resolved. And any other necessary place in the resolution.
Yes.
Mr. Jarrett?
Yes.
Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
Ms. Burns?
Yes.
Vote is 5 yes, 0 no.
Vote is 5 yes, 0 no.
Madam Chair,
Go ahead.
250-156.1.
Then moved by Councilman, and it was supported to the second by Councilwoman in the seventh ward to send to council. Is there any discussion? Go ahead, vote. Call vote. Any discussion? Okay, let's go ahead and vote. This is a motion to send 250156 to council.
Mr. President?
Yes.
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 Vote is 5 yes, 0 no, 9% council. The next resolution is 250157. Municipal solid waste costs for the there's motion on the floor of the city council by Councilman in the 8th ward, supported by Councilman in the 7th ward.
Madam Chair,
Go ahead.
make no motion to amend 250157 to 250157.1 to change the amount in paragraph 7
21056.
from 20256 to 21056 in that paragraph, and be it resolved page 2, the same amount.
Okay, motion on the floor to any necessary.
Support.
Councilman in the 8th ward, supported by Councilwoman in the 7th ward, to change the amount to 1056. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Go ahead.
So, just so we're clear on clear needs to be the word today. Clear. This will be no tax increase to the residents of the city of Flint that receive trash services. The overall tax bill will not be increasing. Is that a correct statement, Mr. Moore? That is correct. Okay. So any dwellings 4 units or less that receive trash service will not see a property tax or assessment increase. It will be leveled out between the lighting and the trash that they paid from the year prior and the year prior to that. That's correct. Okay.
Any other discussion?
That's true as long as residents have money and garbage. If they have more than one, then they have a decrease or increase. Well, every unit that is single family or 4 units or less receive the lighting and the trash. That's correct. Then next year, when we revisit the budget, the budgetary numbers for the solid waste pickup, maybe it's less of a burden next year than it is if we did not do this. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you. Madam Chair,
Thank you. Any other discussion?
Madam Chair, I want to thank my colleague Nate Moore for being clear. Mr. Moore, thank you also for providing clarity on the fact that us moving this money over here will assist in any avoidance of increases for the garbage assessment that we need to do next year. So thank you both for being extremely clear. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Any other discussion? I do need 5 members up here in order to vote on this resolution. Yes. No, because she's still in I'm asking for council members to take their seats so that we can vote on this resolution. Okay, this is the vote to send resolution 25. Yes. Oh, this is the amendment. Thank you so much. This is the vote to amend 250157 to 250157.1. Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Ms. Priestley? Yes. Yes. The vote is 5 yes, 0 no.
You see
Now,
that?
I'll entertain a motion to set the-
Do you see that?
Right, Councilman 8 board, supported by Councilman 7 board. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, this is the vote to send resolution 250157.1 to council.
I'm about to play on my phone, Mickey, damn.
Dr. Lewis, Ms. Absent. Ms. Priestley? Yes. Ms. Burns? Yes. Mr. Shedd?
Yes.
Mr. Whitaker? Mr. Beard?
Yes.
Vote is 5 yes, 0 no. That will be sent to council. Our next resolution is 250158-G 2025 operating village city of Flint DDA.
Oh, this is all Tay and Dennis. Dennis and Tay, you're up.
I make a motion to move into council.
Councilwoman Sutherland made a motion to
Over Dennis's dead body.
I'll support it for discussion.
Yeah, I know you were.
And supported by Councilman
She feel dumb with that.
So, I'm not going to support this tonight. DDA has not provided their budget. The city attorney, is requesting that of Mr. Moore. She has sent you a letter to review to send to the DDA.
I received a letter and, well, mail.
Okay.
What did he say?
So we get that, budget from the DDA, which in the bylaws says that they have to submit it to us. I'm not ready to support this, given that they, I really want to see the budget and how we're spending the money.
They got stations.
Maybe it's time to dissolve the committee. If we got to keep going on. So until I get that information, I'm not ready to support this. But like I said, I supported this so we can talk about it and I can explain my position. But until we get the budget from the EDA and much more of that with scrutiny, then I'm not ready to support this. So thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other discussion? Thank you. All right. You said that it was correct.
I was saying, well, most years, city council is this far ahead of the budget process. We normally would receive the budget from DDA out now. We did have, well, 1 year out there, but we will send a letter out, and we'll do something.
Well, they didn't present it until 2 years ago, when I think Attorney Gurley was in Deputy. You moved in that you were supposed to get their budget, and that's where she found it, that was in your bylaw. And that is that was one of my concerns, that Councilman Piper, how are they offset, because parking meters was, they come up, they're everywhere, and so how are they offsetting that? Because those funds were generating, how much revenue were they used to those meters generating? And, without that revenue loss, how are they handling that in their budget? So that's, and I don't even know, when meters are coming back at all. So, those are just long-term issues. Does anybody in the administration know if their meters are coming back? Do they find another company? Yeah, we never know, and that was one of the issues, even with that $20,000 with eyelashes, sleeves, and travel, but we didn't know. With those funds, and I think that, we do it, and it's just fair that we do things decent and in order, to get those, and if I get those meters back, that's gonna be a huge, we've always had meters, not always on the side streets. We've always had them like downtown to offset, we always have them. And I don't want the meters back, don't get me wrong, because I've gotten a lot of tickets. But if we don't have them, it's our fiduciary responsibility to make sure what is in place for that part of their budget. Because those meters were paying for a part of their budget. And how are they paying for the bonds for the parking lot? Do you know?
I don't.
You know damn well you don't know.
Okay, so, this will probably come back from the city of Flint, because we are responsible for any of their shortfalls, unless someone gives us a cashier's check from, the bank in Flint. So, I'm done, thank you.
Is there any other discussion in the first round? Any other discussion in the first round?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
if I may, I just wanted to respond to Ms. Burns' inquiry about the meters without going into depth or anything. The meters have been purchased, they've been ordered and purchased. So as far as installation and all that, I will give you details, but I do know that.
When did
they have
the
ordered
people off the
meters,
back?
further on that.
Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion in the first round? Any other discussion in the first round? Any discussion in the second round?
Madam Chair.
Go ahead.
City clerk, I know we can't get into detail now, which is important when we're in budget time. Is there expectation date for those, and how many of the meters are they getting, I don't think they were doing the side streets and the back streets and.
Right, I don't wanna speculate, but I could get that information for you, and provide it to council.
Also, thank you, also the amount they get for, the revenue from meters.
Okay.
We can get those. All right, thank you.
Any other discussion in the second round? Any other discussion in the second round? Okay, go ahead. Councilman in the eighth ward, supported by the councilwoman in the seventh ward, and motion to remain in finance. This is the vote.
So they passed the waste cost.
Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
Ms. Burns?
Yes.
Mrs. Shedd?
Yes.
Mr. Piper? Mr. Jarrett?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Lewis,
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I'm gonna make a motion to amend it to the copy that was placed on us, the 18.9948.
What he said?
Or amended to point one. This is done as that.
Oh, that's right, you're right, because I have one from last week.
So I'm gonna make a motion to amend it to point one to, does the public have a copy or something on it?
No.
Madam Clerk?
No.
Because we're not, this is the whole language of the change, so is this a point one, or does this need to be a walkout?
This is point one.
Is this something that I can, just verbally do, the language, change quite a bit?
Okay, so there is a motion.
Open after all. Should this be a point one, or should this be a, usually it's a minor change, this is a chief change. The language change where.
Yeah, without saying that.
Madam Chair, I make a motion to postpone it back to 25015.
There's a motion on the floor, supported by the councilman in the eighth ward, supported by the councilman in the sixth ward, to postpone it, a resolution 250159.
Ms. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Janet? Yes. Mr. Piper? Mr. Jarrett?
Yes.
Dr. Lewis?
Yes.
Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
Vote is 6 yes, 0 no.
Vote is 6 yes, 0 no.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I'm making a motion to send the walkout for add-on number one to council.
Support. And there's a motion on the floor to send add-on number 1 to council. Motion made by Councilman in the eighth ward, supported by Councilman in the seventh ward. Is there any discussion?
Madam Chair.
Yes, go ahead.
Through you, Mr. Moore. Mr. Moore, I think this is basically a decimal point that we're reducing more spacing. Do you percentage-wise what the assessment will be lower? Is it less than 1%?
Yes, it's about,
Very nominal.
it's a roughly half a percent.
Half a percent.
From the city, overall for all the villages for the city, will be dropping about $10,000 for all different villages that we have.
I'm sorry, sir.
But for all the different villages that we have, the amount that will be reducing is about $10,000.
For the entirety of the city?
Yeah.
That's not for each resident. I just
No,
want-
no, no.
I just want to be clear.
That's for the entire
So if we're talking maybe some residents, it's going to be less than, obviously, it's going to be less than.
It's only around the area for most people.
Okay, perfect. So we're probably spending more money printing this more.
Yeah, you just have to go with the state law.
Larry said. So, this is the tax reduction, however, it is, unless you look at a decimal point, and we're not in those. Thank you, I will.
Any other discussion on the first round? Any other discussion on the first round? Any discussion in the second round? Okay, this is the vote to approve add-on number 1.
You gonna get her Thursday. That's
Right.
7 o'clock.
Yes.
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 Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
Ms. Burns?
Yes.
Vote is 6 yes, 0 no.
The vote is 6 yes, 0 no, that we sent to council. Next resolution is 250160,
amendments to the budget, but that is just to correct, in the fourth paragraph, the villages
Yeah.
do not match what was just, for the council, so we need to amend this resolution to reflect the 18
Thank you.
And also, procedurally, when you do the budget adoption resolution, you do vote on every amendment, and then we only do a point one for every amendment that passes.
Okay, thank you. Does everybody understand that? So we will make this point one until amendment. So is there any discussion in the first round? Yes.
So we vote to amend, just for clarity, we vote to amend, and then all the amendments, and then we'll do one final amendment for one, so technically we're voting on the amendments.
If I may, you're making amendments to the budget, so you'll vote on amendments to the budget. And then, because this resolution reads, it's a resolution to adopt the budget as proposed. If you make amendments to the budget, then the resolution would need to be amended to say with the following amendments. And then those amendments are typically be listed, but it will only do that point one. If you don't make any amendments to the budget, then it would go through. But I would have to amend it to reflect that, village. Correction.
So it's not making an amendment to the resolution of five. First and foremost, I'll make an amendment to adjust the changes for the village. That's what we're.
So there's a motion on the floor by the councilman in the eighth ward, supported by the councilwoman in the seventh ward, to change the millage rate to reflect what was in the ad. Is there any discussion?
Yes.
Go ahead.
And just to be clear to the public, this is changing the village amount from 19.1 mils to the new reduced amount of 18.9948. It's a slight reduction we just spoke about in the last discussion item. So that's what this is. Thank you.
Any other discussion on this amendment? Any other discussion on this amendment? Seeing none, this is the vote for this amendment.
Mr. Jerry?
Yes.
Dr. Lewis?
Yes.
Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
Ms. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Shad?
Yes.
Mr. Piper?
Yes.
Vote 6 yes, 0 no.
Vote 6 yes, 0 no. Okay, so,
Wait, did I just lost my hand?
yeah, what additional options? If we need to add a discussion, we can go through that. Is there any other discussion? Any other discussion in the first round?
Madam Chair.
Go ahead.
So this is kind of, we need to, amend any budget changes, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So, for you to city clerk, how much do we add on for travel for council?
So that amount was increased from 15,000 to 25,000. So 10,000 was added to this year's budget.
From 15,000 to 25,000?
Correct.
Okay, I would like to amend the budget to take it back down to 15,000.
Liddell lifted her head up for that.
a motion on the floor to, amend the budget, council budget for travel to 15,000, and that was by Councilwoman 746 or sorry, 6, I'm so sorry. 6. Is there support?
Support.
It's been moved and properly supported. Is there any discussion?
Yes.
Go ahead.
So, through you, Madam Clerk, since travel isn't a line item,
It's actually kind of,
I'm sorry,
it's actually kind
which item would we be reducing? Because I want to be clear, travel is not a line item budget, so, how would you, do this change in your budget as well as this budget?
It's the council budget, it's under education, training, and conferences, is what Ms. Burns is referring to.
So, are we looking at, Mr. Moore, when we make changes, are we making changes to the, Madam Clerk, are we making changes to these forms, or are we making changes to the individual funds like this? What gets changed when?
What would change is the operating, supplies and operating expenses for the city council.
So,
The different categories are specified.
so we're basically, on this form, it'd be under 04, supplies and operating expenses.
Right.
Right, 0404? Line, or section 04, and then subsection 04? City clerk total, no, that's city clerk elections.
So one city council, that was 01.
I'm sorry?
That, here, that was city council, that's city clerk, 04.
None of my.
So if we change the supplies and operating expenses, because that's a category to be under, correct?
Correct.
So what, Madam Clerk, would you reduce that amount? Or would you go into your, sub amount to change that? So would you reduce, you know, because we're reducing that category by 10, but travel is not a category in this budget.
Right, as I stated, I know that what Ms. Burns is referring to is the, education training and conferences, and when she states she wants to take it back down, I'm not sure exactly if it would still stay in the budget, and it can be moved somewhere else within the operating expenses.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not sure how that would work as far as, finance would consider it. But, you know, I would definitely find another place to put it, but, I just know that she's talking about that education, training, and conferences. I'm not sure if we go back. Because, you know, whether or not.
I want to make sure that we do the skeletal test that we want to do it and not.
I would reduce the supplies and operating expenses for the departmental.
But that doesn't necessarily get as detailed of a cut as Ms. Burns just proposed.
Well, with the notes that the city clerk is stating, we will adjust that line item. We have more detail in the system.
Okay.
And we will reduce that, meet the resolution.
So, in your, is the motion on the floor detailed enough to do that?
We can do that, yes, sir.
And the motion is to take it from 25 to 15. Is that a fair statement, Madam Clerk?
Yes.
And 25 is what you had in that category? Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Is there any other discussion in the first round? Any other discussion in the first round? Any discussion in the second round? Seeing none, this will be discussion to amend the council travel from 25,000 to 15,000.
Councilor Lewis.
Like that.
No.
Ms. Priestley.
No.
Ms. Burns.
Yes.
Ms. Shad. No. Mr. Pfeiffer.
They was taking vacation.
Mr. Barrett.
Yes.
The vote is 3 yes, 3 no.
That is, the vote is 3 yes, 3 no, that
Voted
motion
up,
fails.
voted down.
Any other amendments? I have an amendment.
You can only do it if you have some open, that's what we're doing.
Yeah. I have an amendment, and it's to the ombudsman's office, and I'm going to remove the 2 analyst positions that are budgeted for. I told them that I would just do one, but upon reflection, seeing how they can't prove that the work is there for 2, I'm going to, make a motion to remove both. And that would be personal services would be reduced by $200,092. Pension and OPEB is $94,619. Supplies and operating expenses, $49,000. Those are the revised numbers that you gave me, correct? So for a total of reduction in their budget of $343,711.
Madam Chair? No offense, you were throwing numbers out there, I wasn't ready to write it down. What is the total amount that you were proposing for that? You have the total amount?
I do not have the total, I just have the changes for this budget. Mr. Or let me look at it.
Because, you know, on, as a customer.
Yes.
The proposed is 467, you're, 467, 549, right?
Okay, we have to fund it by $250,000. Okay, then that hasn't been seconded.
Make a motion,
Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Oh, okay, all right, thank you very much. So I'm going to take this back and I'm going to say that this will be the revised budget. I don't know the exact amount that's being reduced without doing calculations in my head. So personnel services would be $200,092. Pension and OPEB would be $94,619. Supplies and operating expenses is $49,000 for a total budget allocation of $343,711.
Right.
And I so move. So it's been moved by Councilwoman in the 4th Ward, supported by Councilman in the 8th Ward to amend the budget to $343,711. Go ahead.
I will not be supporting this. I will only be supporting putting it at the charter minimum of $250,000. To me,
Get
we
on.
haven't got a report on the ombudsman office since our tenure began.
So, like,
They haven't had a ombudsperson there. To me, I think there's a legal discussion on whether the administration can even hire, because it's conflict, because they are, how can they hire for, for any of the positions, or the analyst positions? We shouldn't be posting analyst positions, that should come from the ombudsperson. So how can the administration hire for analysts when we don't even have an ombudsperson? The ombudsperson should handle the hiring of the analyst once the
Yes.
So to me, it should be a minimum at $250,000, and once they get an ombudsman, that ombudsman can come before us with a plan on how they're going to do anything. So, Madam Chair, I applaud your wanting to cut analyst positions, but to me, that whole ombudsman office is a no-show job that nothing comes out of it. I
But the mayor, he come under
I don't want to speak derogatory because there's nobody there to speak derogatory about. I think people make complaints and they get stored away until maybe price comes back. I don't know. But to me, the EAB is derelict in their duties in hiring an ombuds person. So maybe we should sue them. But this right here will not be a vote for me. You know, it's mandated by charter for 250. Until they get an ombuds person, there's nobody there to tell me budget-wise why they need $343,000. So to me, this is the administration trying to run the ombudsman's office by giving us any amount more than 250. So to me, that is correct. Yes.
The EAB actions, which are.
Well, they don't have authority to fight it.
No, they came before us.
But I understand that, but they don't have the authority to, where is the EAB represented at the ombudsman's office? That's nowhere to be, I understand they came, and I, like, great for coming, but how much effort did you put into this budget numbers, and should that have been directed to actually hiring an ombudsman? So, to me, it's 250 minimum, or this amendment doesn't get my vote.
Any other discussions? First
I will not be supporting other but the charter mandates in the city of Flint. They shouldn't be in charge, because that selection process, when it first started, when the charter was adopted, the HR did not go through and filter for an ombudsman. That was not the process. The process went through, every application went through and was given to the Ethics and Accountability Board. And I'm not supporting anything other than $250,000. They are in violation. I don't even know how they're hearing anything that's any complaints, because the charter clearly states the process is that it goes through to the ombudsman. The ombudsman then handles complaints over to the board. And they have not had what they consider to be a qualified ombudsman since October 2022. So they should be processing anything, making any recommendations, because they are in violation of the charter. I'll only be supporting the $250,000, which is mandated by the charter. I yield.
Any other discussion in the first round?
Madam Chair. So during budget hearings, when they were here in front of us to discuss the ombudsman's office and the staff that is currently in the office, and the work that is currently being done, which during budget hearings, they made it clear that basically no work is being done. And so I am in total agreement that unless this goes down to the 250 that is mandated in the charter, I will not support any other amendment. This won't even get a vote for me if it's anything other than the 250. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussions? Any other discussion? I'll take some time. You know, I agree with you guys on the 250,000. I absolutely do. I've never been a big fan of this department. I requested a report. In the 3.5 years we've been on council, we have not received a single report from the EAB. And Mr. Harris and I had a discussion, and I read the charter that he thought it says may, and I said, no, it says shall. And we may offer improvements. It's not, it says you shall report to us annually. So I have no problem to change it, and I'll still move to change to amend to a total of $250,000. I don't know how that would be broken out. But can we do the motion as amended for the finance department because of the wages and the benefits? Yeah, it's 250 total, but it has to be split out between wages and pension.
Request for information.
Go ahead.
Do we need that information, or do we just do the result?
That's what I'm asking, Mr. Moore.
I believe it's in the charter that talks about how you adopt the budget. It specifies you have to at least have between personnel services and supplies and operating. The pension hold that can be rolled into the salaries. The other categories is what I'm trying to do. I can come up with an allocation for the information. At time you want to meet, if you have something for them.
So, Madam Chair, you have a motion to 250 total.
Yep. Yep, that is my motion, making a motion to change, to amend it to $250, and with the details to be forthcoming. Okay, moved and properly seconded by the councilwoman, councilwoman, like her councilman, and I hate for it. Is there any other discussion? Any other discussion? Hearing none, this is the vote to amend ombudsman's, the charter mandated amount of $250,000.
Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
Ms. Burns?
Yes.
Mrs. Shad?
Yes.
Mr. Piper? Mr. Jarrett?
Yes.
Dr. Lewis?
Yes.
Vote is 6 yes, 0 no.
The vote is 6 yes, 0 no. That amendment passes. Are there any other amendments? Any other amendments?
Well, Madam Chair.
First round. Yeah, we can, in the second round. Go ahead, Mr. Pfeiffer. You had another one?
Somebody else can go ahead and say.
Anyone else?
Madam Chair,
Go ahead.
due to Mr. Moore, the law department has had their increases considerable. I don't know, what was their budget back in 2019?
I don't have that with me, but I can easily get that, get you, all the information from 2019 to present.
Because last year, we spent, how much did we spend? We wasted a lot of money. I think even including the case against me, I was illegally approved with 61,000, 63,000, using butt soap. So, can you find out how much did they spend last year? I'm sorry that we're doing these one by one. Do you have that?
For, in the last fiscal year, we spent, $1,277,717.
How much, that you spent how much?
$1,277,717.
Is that check registered back online?
Pardon?
The check registered back online?
It's not online, but it's available in the finance department.
So what does that mean?
If you want to look at, stop by and
I have to make a meeting to,
don't necessarily need to have a meeting, but it's available.
I need to schedule a time or
Just show up.
just show up? Okay, I don't want to show up at a bad time.
Okay.
Now, so we can't, so it's not available online anymore. So to show up, we use written copies of everything. And so showing up means we can't get a copy.
We don't, it's probably put it online because, that, hackers and scammers out there that trying to scam us and scam our vendors. It makes it very difficult.
What's your request?
So, Ms. Burns, we can't get an email?
I've asked about the past 3 months, 4 or 5, I don't know, it's been a long time. I have asked numerous times, because it hasn't been up since June 24. And I have not received, I've asked to have all of us email the copy. So why didn't we get a copy? Because I've asked. Was it above you?
We're very concerned about having any of that information electronically because it has a tendency to
Yeah,
get
I'm not a
out.
hacker.
And we really don't want the hackers to get out.
I have just as much right to it as you do.
Right.
And I've asked. And I mean, I'm not, until I see that, I mean, and that's, okay, I'm not supporting this budget, but that is important.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Any other? Go ahead.
Mr. Moore, are you saying that our email is insecure?
I'm not at the ransomware attack yet. I think it's spiritually to make it, but I'd rather not, certain information I'd rather not.
Because we get other sensitive information via email, all the time. So I just want to be clear, do we have a security issue with our email?
I think we have a security, we can get it, but we know that this is an object that the hackers are trying to get away with.
So us getting a list of check number
The more
and
you talk.
the recipient and the amount is a detriment to the city?
We've had people call up and try to impersonate the vendors, trying to get us to change their information so that we send the money or send the check to the wrong spot.
Lord have mercy.
That's not, they're reminding me that several of those have already, I don't think we had one this week, but we have had quite a few attacks like that.
Well, thank
We
you for
even had
telling
people
us.
try to, change
So
their
I
way.
understand that, but you're saying that sending it to council members,
Mm-hmm.
that information would get out from a council member about the check registry, and they would hack our email or information.
Maybe, I'll be very cautious, but, just, looking at the threat we have, we just feel it's safer to, provide you, if you want to come in, we'll give you a copy.
Because, by FOIA law, the attorney can correct me, by FOIA law, I can FOIA it.
Oh, yeah.
We did it, so, but we don't have to FOIA things as an attorney, as a council member, so why can't we get it even?
Damn, did y'all pay y'all heat bill? Is the question.
So, Mr. Moore, Ms. Donahue, can you send an email to Mr. Moore? And I've done this already, but I want to officially request the check register ever since it's been taken down offline from online. Not going, Madam Clerk, can you send that to them so we can put this on the record, even though you have the same email from me previously? I want to make sure that they're there. So, since I'm gonna lose my, Madam Chair, can we make a motion to have additional rounds now? Because this is the second round, there's no third round, so.
Yeah.
How do we make the motion? I'll make a motion to have 5 more rounds?
What?
I'm
done.
Other 3 minutes.
3 minutes only. There's a motion on the floor to add 5 rounds and 3 minutes for
My arthritis is kicking in. I ain't got
There's,
to eat them.
it's moved properly seconded by Councilman. 5 additional rounds and 3 minutes each.
They ain't gonna pass shit today. They ain't about to pass us. 3 minutes.
30 minutes.
Ms. Burns.
Yes.
Mr. Shannon.
Oh, they ain't got it.
Yes.
No.
They ain't got it.
Oh, here we go. 3 yes.
You had your 3 minutes. Is there any other discussion? Any other amendments? Piper. Point of, I was going to.
Clyde, can y'all turn the heat up a little bit? Heat, turn it up a little bit, I'm a taxpayer resident now, it's a little cold.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we add 3 rounds of 3 minutes.
There's a motion on the floor to have 3 rounds of 3 minutes each. Is there support?
No, cause y'all ain't gonna pass nothing.
She already got her back up. She couldn't have done it.
Yes.
She gotta go to the bathroom.
Ms. Priestley? Yes. Ms. Turner?
Stand at ease until Jerry get here. She said she about to leave.
She said she not seated.
Oh.
She not seated.
Okay, so that fails.
I'm done, Madam Chair.
Oh, he leaving too?
I don't know. What about the citizens?
Oh, this meeting over?
This work of the citizens?
They don't care about that.
The people?
You think they care about the people?
The charter?
They don't care about no charter.
What about us? They left y'all. No, she ain't going back. She leaving like you, she said. She going back. I know y'all still here, but she leaving.
She big mad.
She mad.
She big mad.
She mad because y'all done had the police running all over like she did.
5-minute recess.
For what? Who we waiting for? Jerry? Who you going to call?
They doing a 5-minute recess.
Man, if y'all don't give me some wood chips to burn back here, I know something. The deal is mad because the police wasn't running all over arresting people like she wanted to today. That's what's wrong with her. 1,015, but she sure cared about the youth jobs, but she didn't vote for them. No.
This meeting is adjourned.
I would like a roll call on the adjournment. Who left, Judy? Who broke quorums?
That's why they did it. Your person should still up there. She should deliver that right through the door.
This is like disrespectful.
You go back outside here. Nobody asked.
Jason, the meeting is over.
It's over now.
Once they put you on this foot down here.
Yeah, good deal.
Huh? Yeah, it's over. They said it's over. Yeah, no, everybody going home.
Guys that went on, but it's John Snow's. Yeah, I told him, I said, we're doing a constitutional ambush. He violated and litigated that for me. I'm trying to fix it up for 50 people here.
Hey, turn the film on me, man. Want to make a copy? Fuck, come here. Hello. Hello, America. I noticed you stay tuned to the Flint council meeting, and this is what's happening right now. You see, the inspection and inspector of old folks' home, they call it Mays Center, and the Kennedy Center, and say it's condemned. So the county can say it's the baddest record in 14 years, where they can pocket the money, and in the school, the dude talking about his babysitter at the house, talking about the kids in Flint ain't got nowhere to work, and all that. I know in 1980, they took the 10 Commandments out of school, tell them, every last one of them to beat the 10 Commandments if they want to work in Flint. Whoever they is, and all that junk, the DDA downtown, talking that junk, and all they do is rapping and play basketball and gamble. One of them talk for themselves, talking that junk. This is Stay tuned, America. You gonna see what these boys on them kids talk for themselves.
Yes, we do.
That's what I'm talking about, RL.
I was
You
bring,
made more
gonna
sense
bring
than
you
us.
a snack bag. You want some snack?
No,
I know
yeah.
you're in the gym. Did you look?
Yeah, I seen it.
There's
No.
candy bars and
Everything,
shit.
everything that'll mess
There's
my
all
life
kinds
up.
of shit up in there. Right here in the bag, huh? This bag.
How much money they get?
You just said you wanted real candy.
All lives matter.
There's hard candy in that little bag.
Come here, RL.
Like, the man who started that school over there,
Yeah.
the preacher on this money and
Bad,
stuff.
and you
He's
remember
running
the
on this
bitches are in
stuff,
your
but
purse.
this your man is down in the school and talk about.
Fam, we're gonna see y'all in the morning. Peace.
I have to leave it in the car.
This ain't about no kids working in Flint.